joints right here, man, that you play when you feeling down on your isn't right. Play this shit right here and resuscitate your pimpin' and get you right back on your mission, right? For you hoes, this that shit you play when you ain't feeling like super hoe today. Play this shit right here and spark up your hoeing and get you right back going, you dig? Dig this. Pimps for real, don't mistake it for fashion. The turf that birthed my reputation for mashing was the track with active, attractive hoes. Professional goers that attract the dough. Like magnets to metal, never settle. We scorching them fag bitches pedal for them portions. My whores win it all. Not the ones on the sideline wishing but didn't ball in the guidelines. My bitches did it all. Down 7 below in the snow for dough. Over 120 in the sun for fun. They mash for hours, hooker baths, not showers. Bright and early, down and dirty for the cash and power. They gotta get the cash, the towers, and reach it all to a pimp. In my position, I'm all but exempt. These bras not wimps, I'm like them renegade bitches. BFFs with tricks but never getting paid riches. Grenade bitches, they dynamite, blowing up on the pimpin' and missing when the time is right. But when they life gets strife, they see pimpin' shining bright, but they action is life without. Bitch, one strike you out. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. See, that's the difference nigga. The pimpin' mashin' for these riches nigga. Nothing like you master magician niggas. Smoking mirrors with your game, hella extras to reflect the opposite appearance of a lame. Bitches coming from y'all, I can't rock with those. Tender-footed and rooted in them doctor shows. Soft shoe rituals, minute residuals. Papers on life support, your loots and critical. Something I learned about when running my earned route. And working with turnouts is murdering burnouts. Cause knocking one of you niggas for a scar bitch, that's knocking one of you niggas for some garbage. I'm heartless regardless, empty with sympathy, but banked up to the max with pimpathy. No remedy for me, I'm like this. My life is vice grip, synced in permanent ink. You can't rewrite this. My blood type is P positive, beautifully deposited with a lot of it. I'm popping this shit, and when I pop it so hard I make a trapping ass bad bitch wanna hoe hard. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Come on pimpin' man, pop that shit. Show these sucker niggas they can't stop that shit. Let these hookers know if they wanna cop that shit. Treat the bag like it's hot, bitch, and drop that shit. Dig. And to you hoes, if you ever took a loss, bitch, show these bitches how to bounce back like a boss, bitch. Let them know that the best way to floss, bitch, is reach that paper to some pimpin' hoe and toss it. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. One of them joints right here, man, that you play when you feeling down on your isn't right. Play this shit right here and resuscitate your pimpin' and get you right back on your mission, right? For you hoes, this that shit you play when you ain't feeling like super hoe today. Play this shit right here and spark up your hoeing and get you right back going, you dig? Dig this. Pimps for real, don't mistake it for fashion. The turf that birthed my reputation for mashing was the track with active, attractive hoes. Professional goers that attract the dough. Like magnets to metal, never settle. We scorching them fag bitches pedal for them portions. My whores win it all. Not the ones on the sideline wishing but didn't ball in the guidelines. My bitches did it all. Down 7 below in the snow for dough. Over 120 in the sun for. Top of it to the game was happening. Yeah, we gonna chop this shit tonight, man. As usual. Y'all already know, man. First order of business for y'all when you step into a pimp's domain, wipe your feet off at the door. Hit that like button, man. Yeah. Y'all already know my first order of business, man. I got to hydrate my pimping. Put some of this good old love in my body. Mm-hmm. Okay, man. Let's get into this shit. Now, if you pay attention to my content over the years, man, I usually don't speak on like LA street shit, you know, especially gang banging. Anything that got to do with gang banging, I usually don't speak on. But as an LA native, and as a black man, I see certain shit happening online, man, and it just look crazy to me, man. So I like to address it and use it as like a teachable moment. Uh, and use it as a I guess you could say uh just use it as a look as to what not to do and how not to move and how not to be, and things that's contrary to street shit, things that's contrary to manhood, put a magnifying glass on that shit and break it down and examine it and show you what's wrong with it, you dig? And then show you the right way to go about shit as well. So, as y'all can imagine from the thumbnail, this got a lot to do with no jumper. Man, be a whole lot of nonsense going on no jumper, man. And a lot of guys I'm disappointed in. Now, Adam22 himself, a lot of people might see him as a culture vulture. A lot of people might see him as exploitative. But, while all of that may be true, it's just the nature of the beast. I can't be mad at a wolf for being a wolf. I can't be mad at a sheep for being a sheep. I can't be mad at a leech for being a leech. It is what it is. It's on me, to decide the best way how to deal with somebody like that or to not deal with them at all. Right? And be a lot of shit going on, man, and people be out moving around, man. They leave their integrity at home. They leave their balls at home. They leave their manhood at home, and they just be out and about moving around, calling themselves conducting business and things like that. And, it'd be looking crazy. King Crave says, would you ever do an interview with no jumper freeze? Most likely not. I don't see myself ever going on no jumper, man. And it's not like I'm just like anti no jumper, but, I would much rather support a platform from one of ours. They already got a lot going on, man. Them people that ain't our people. They already got so much. They got so much power. They got so much juice. They got so much influence. They got a lot going on. And if I'm gonna play a part in building with somebody, I would much rather build with my people, just like they do. Shit, if they gonna build something, they gonna build with their people. So I would much rather build with my people, man. So yeah, I don't really see myself ever going on no jumper. You dig? Palm, good looking with the $5 holla. Love how you show respect to regular squares. Freeze, you been getting getting me through a lot lately, dog. Nothing but love, bro. Hey, Palm, man, I appreciate that, man. You dig? I just appreciate you in general, man. You always supporting and always keeping it solid, man. And glad that I can be of some good use to you. You dig? So, but yeah, man, it'd be a lot of crazy stuff happening on this No Jumper. And like I said, I can't be mad at Adam for being Adam. You know, I can't expect him to be anything other than who and what he is. And you know, I ain't mad at him for that. But, you know, there are certain things that can be learned from observing Adam, you know, good and bad. And, you know, that's why I'm coming with this game and want to break some things down with y'all, man. So, let's see. We going to start first with the worst, which is this Luce Cannon dude, man. Now, a lot of y'all done seen this already, but you know I'm going to break this shit down from a game perspective, man. And, you know, just show you how crazy things look from my perspective as, you know, somebody from L.A. or from Los Angeles County, you know, somebody who's, you know, then ran the streets of Los Angeles County for a long time. Not a gangbanger, you know, I'm a non-affiliate, proud non-affiliate, but yeah, you know, I done ran the streets with a lot of the best of them, man, and then walked the yard and been all through every nook and cranny of L.A. County, you know, L.A. County Jail, and yeah, man, and this stuff just looked crazy to me, man. So I just want to point some things out from my perspective. You dig? Let's take a look at this shit.
Yeah. But this crazy calls me the other day, and I was doing something. You know, you're doing something, you kind of listen to somebody talk, but you doing some other shit.
And I just want to point something out before we get too far into it, right? This is what I want y'all to. This is the mindset that I want y'all to have. I want y'all to keep this in mind while you're looking at this. What you're going to see, but you might overlook, and that's why I pointed out to you so you don't overlook. What you have going on here is this Luce Cannon dude. Now, this Luce Cannon dude, bless his heart, he's not really the sharp. He about as sharp as a bowling ball, bless his heart. You know, he's not really the sharpest tool in the shed at all, you know. And so he comes on here unarmed. He's naked and unarmed as far as game goes. He ain't got the armor of this game. He ain't got the weapons of this game. So he's in there naked and unarmed. You dig? As far as this game go. So he's not prepared for anything that's about to happen to him in this interview, right? But what I want you to notice is how Wack 100 is manipulating Luce Cannon. But then the puppet master himself, Adam22, is manipulating the whole thing. And, you know, Adam22 cold with it. I can't lie. Like, the boy Adam is cold, and if people pay attention to him, it's a lot to learn from him. You know, like Andre Taylor always says, you know, you want to study your enemy and you want to know your enemy to a T, right? So, not to say that Adam is necessarily an enemy per se, but, you know, he's, you know, outside of us. But, you know, a lot of people just look at Adam and have a lot of hateful things to say. But even from people that you don't like, there's a lot to learn. You know, it's a lot of game that you can observe and soak up if you just look at shit through, you know, non-emotional lenses. You dig, and game-related lenses, right? So that's what's going on here. You know, Adam, the puppet master, he sets the stage, and then, you know, what happens on the stage that Adam sets is you have a Wack 100 manipulating a Luce Cannon, you know, and just notice how Wack will say just enough to get Luce Cannon going, you know, and I I must say, man, you know, I seen, I can't remember if it was Bricc Baby or somebody, it probably wasn't Bricc Baby, but somebody was clowning him about his name. Like, what kind of name is Luce Cannon? But if you pay attention to his behavior, that's the perfect name for him. He got the perfect name, Luce Cannon, because his mouth is a loose cannon. He just get going and he just don't stop and he just say a bunch of crazy shit. And, you know, yeah, his mouth is a loose cannon, so he really got the perfect name. But Wack, he knows how to load the cannon up precisely to where, you know, the cannon just get loose and just get to letting off, man, and just, you know, firing cannons everywhere, you dig? So, or cannonballs everywhere. So just pay attention to how loose cannon is just being puppeteered so viciously. Wack 100 is kind of lightweight puppeteering from the sideline, and then you have Adam22, who's the puppet master himself, you know, kind of setting the stage. He might throw a flame or two, or he might throw a log or two in the fire to keep it going. But, you know, it's like Wack 100 is Adam22's ambassador. Pay attention.
And this dude did some made me drop some
Uh-oh.
I misplaced a little, I was putting together my remote control car. I done misplaced a piece, I still can't find it. And I told him, and you know me, Adam, if I get some information or some content, I'm gonna fry your ass up.
Yeah,
I said, nephew, this content I can't present. You gotta present it because you ain't lied to me yet. Because he's behind a lot that you've seen, you just should know it was him.
You see how, Wack, see, much love and honor and respect to Mel Taylor, who through Andre Taylor, you know, a lot of us know about putting the big hat on somebody, so to speak. You know, that's what Wack is doing with Loose Cannon. He's setting him up so cold. He putting the biggest hat on him, you know, to make him feel like the big man. Like, man, you know, he ain't lied to me yet. And, you know, you got to present this shit, not me, because, you know, can't nobody tell it like you. Can't nobody do it like you, Loose Cannon. Like, he just setting them up so cold. And the boy is just so slow. He just, like I said, he just mentally is not armed with this game. So he just going for this shit. But just pay attention to how, Wack 100 is just putting this big old hat on this boy. He pulled out the biggest, shiniest, fanciest hat to put on this boy's head to make him feel like the big man. And he about to put the hat on and wear it to a T, as you going to see.
We're going to tell you off camera.
What kind of stuff?
He's behind a lot of that. If you see it on YouTube, you just say, no, it was him. So I know he ain't no bull, but man, listen.
No, so
yeah, you got to elaborate on this shit.
And then also something else I got to point out that's so funny about this shit is, you know, so you know how the YouTube or the social media detectives, they gonna go to work as soon as they see some shit like this. So the social media detectives done played. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find that shit. The social media detectives, they done. I just want to show y'all this real quick, just to give you a little bit of insight on the relationship between Loose Cannon and Wack 100. Hold on. Is that the? Oh, here we go. Now, as you can see, this video is from August of 21. So this video is about 2.5 years old, right? And as you can see from the title, it says, Loose Cannon says, Big U run the West and don't F with Wack 100. He's a rat lover. So he's disrespecting Wack 100, and, you know, I guess he called himself defending Big U on here. But on the most recent clip that you seeing right now, up until this point, it's the other way around. It's like he done switched sides. Now he's siding with Wack 100 and dissing Big U. But just pay attention to how he was talking about Wack.
What's up, cuz? Neighborhood, Luce Cannon, aka Rapid Fire. You know what it is. We about to get straight to it. So it's like, Wack. It's like you do all this internet thugging shit and acting like you just so turned up, putting it on Paru this, Paru that. Nigga, nobody seen you do nothing. Nigga, you beat up a nigga that was don't fin a nigga in Miami. What's that bitch ass nigga named Stitches? Like, bro, you did some buster ass shit and then you acting like you got clout. Then you paid 2 niggas to act like they KKK, but nigga, they was construction workers and you paid them $150. All that clout chasing shit don't equal up to real nigga shit, bro. We on real nigga time. Like, you have to really start watching your mouth because niggas don't play that. Niggas play for keeps. Like, you talking about let's get down. Nigga, you bitch ass nigga, you don't want to get down with the loc, nigga. And you could put that on Paru, nigga. I bet you, nigga, on.
So, you know, for those of y'all don't know, this street, Glen Oaks, that's in Pacoima, which is Wack 100's hood. So I guess, you know, the boy Luce Cannon, he went to Wack's hood and was dissing Wack. And, you know, as you can see, he talking crazy about Wack 2.5 years ago. Fast forward to now they on here smiling in front of this one white man, but not just a white man, but a white man who ain't even, you know, a part of the same lifestyle that they live. Adam, he not a Crip or a Blood. He not from the streets. He not even from Los Angeles. He not from California. He not from the West Coast. So, you know, Adam is totally foreign to the lifestyle that they come from, right? So, but you see how Luce Cannon was just talking crazy about Wack. Now they on here smiling and giggling with each other on this dude's platform who, you know, if it come down to it, he gonna testify on y'all. You know, if they put any kind of pressure on Adam is testifying on everybody. And it's expected for him to do that because he's not in the streets. You know, and when you do things like this, you know, you might think to yourself like, yeah, it's good content and things like that. But, you know, if a RICO case jump off and they wrap all you guys up that's been on this platform talking crazy about people, if they do y'all like how they did Keefe D, stupid ass, you know what I mean? It's like ain't nobody learned from Keefe D. But if they do all of these dudes the same way they do Keefe D, stupid ass, Adam is testifying on everybody. And he's expected to because he's a civilian. And, you know, y'all, when y'all do this on his platform, it's kind of like you involve him to a certain extent, you know, and it's not like he's really involved, but it's enough to the point where, like I said, if they was to put a RICO case on everybody, hypothetically speaking, God forbid, but I'm just speaking hypothetically, right? Something like that was to go down, you know, it's like the 6ix9ine situation, you know. I did a video about that back when it happened, entitled "Let a Mark Be a Mark." You know, 6ix9ine is a mark. You got to let a mark be a mark. You don't let the mark know none of your business, your street business, your gang business, your personal business. You don't get up close and personal with the mark like that. You let the mark do what the mark do, be the mark that they is, and don't become so personal with the mark that you letting them know business that can make you vulnerable. And that's what they doing with Adam. So as you can see here, that's what's going on. Joe Blast, good looking with the $5 holla. Respect, Freeze. Respect to you too as well. Much appreciated. But yeah, let's continue.
I got to, because at the end of the day, it's like dealing with, like, you know, when you in hood politics and stuff like that. And
see, I just want y'all to understand how crazy this looks. You have a Crip and a Pyru having a discussion with a white man who doesn't even come from their lifestyle about another Crip from his hood. Like, it just looks crazy. Like, this type of discussion just looks so crazy because you're talking to Adam22 about hood politics. Like, look at him. He getting real in depth. He about to really break down hood politics to Adam22. And look at Wack. He just sitting over there loving it.
Let me go back where it first started, right? So I ended up whooping Molly Ma ass, right? Put it on camera. Guy named Big U. It's cool. They used to be brothers, right?
Then you talk about Big U and Molly Mall.
No, Big U, Molly Mall, and you.
Yes.
Molly Mall, who you're friends with.
Yeah, that's my brother.
Right.
Yeah, they used to be. They all.
Still my brother.
He put us on the phone together.
Still my brother.
Yeah. Molly Mall is a good dude. He just a scammer. So
Molly's not a scammer.
Allegedly.
Molly Mall is a scammer on crazy.
You and Molly
But
Mall
they
is good.
cool. They still
No,
good.
me and Molly Mall is good.
He talks the truth, regardless
Molly's
they
not
like
a
it or
fucking
not.
scammer.
I fuck
You
with a
know
bunch of
what?
scammers.
This is what I'm
Okay,
saying.
look,
All the business I've ever did with Molly, he always delivered.
No, have you ever
just
seen
do
Molly
music.
Mall produce a song?
He has the producers.
No. Have
Pooh
you
Bear,
ever,
nigga, he
Pooh
made-
Bear is a writer. Pooh Bear is.
He makes the
Justin
studio
Bieber,
available.
yeah.
He provides the beats.
And then
He's just saying though that he just puts his name on things. He don't really do it.
a whole bunch of these producers
You
do
right
that.
about
That's
that.
smart. I
You
want to
know
start
that
doing that.
shit.
You right about
That's
that.
true.
That's a fact. Go ahead. We listen.
okay, so basically, after I whipped Molly Mall ass,
And he just, I don't know, man. Like, this is just so reckless and crazy. And see, it's funny how, like, me, I'm not going to put no snitch jacket on nobody. I'm not going, in a big part of the reason why is because, like, I'm not going to invest myself to the point where I'm going to go dig up somebody's paperwork, pull up case numbers like a lot of these YouTube nerds do. I'm not going to do the 1090 Jake. You know what I mean? Because 1090 Jake, like I said, he's an agent of confusion as well. He be putting all this paperwork out there, but ain't about to go see nobody that's what the paperwork is for. Like, if you involved with somebody and, it's some suspicion around their name as far as them doing some telling, you go get the paperwork to figure out how you going to deal with that person, whether you going to disassociate yourself or you going to take some type of disciplinary action against that individual or whatever the case may be, right? The paperwork is to put you in the know if you dealing with that person, right? But, the people that 1090 Jake is putting all this paperwork out about, he's not ever going to deal with them. He's not going to do no business with them. He not going to do no hood shit with them. He not going to run the streets with them. So it's like, what's the point? Right? So, like I said, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to run a bunch of people's paperwork who I've never met and probably never will ever meet. And if I did ever meet them, I'm not going to be, tight and partners with them like that. And we about to be doing dirt together. Like, that's what's never going to happen. I'm never going to start doing dirt with anybody that is on the internet. I'm not doing dirt, period. But especially not with nobody who be on the internet and shit, right? So, I say all that to say I'm not going to put no jackets on nobody, right? But I will say this. It's mighty funny to me how all of these people have jackets on them for telling, right? All of them have allegations for telling. And they all swear up and down that they not telling. And it's alleged paperwork out on all these people. And at the same time, they swearing up and down they ain't never told on nobody. But see, this is the difference, right? Like me, I've never told on nobody. Ever. You never gonna find Freeze's name. You never gonna find Jason Darrell Willridge, 10/28/1981 from Los Angeles, California, Long Beach, California. You never gonna find my information associated with helping the police do their job. Never. That shit don't exist, right? So I can tell you about the behavior of somebody who has never told and will never tell, right? The nature of somebody like myself who has never told and will never tell, you never gonna see me get on the internet on a platform like this with somebody who ain't from the streets and ain't even one of our people, you never gonna see me get on a platform like this discussing personal business, street business, hood business, any kind of that type of business, you know, especially stuff that could get somebody incriminated or get myself incriminated. But even if it's not incriminating, like certain personal shit between me and my people, even if we fall out, you know what I mean? It's never gonna make it to the internet. You know, that's one thing Sinful always talked about. And, you know, I agree. And, you know, people like Sinful and myself, we've had disagreements with each other. We've had fallouts. We've had periods where me and Sinful didn't speak for months at a time because we was at odds. But it never made it to the internet. You know what I mean? It never became y'all's business. We never made y'all's business our business. You know what I mean? And same thing with other people that I'm, you know, cool with. Like if I really rock with them, you know, I'm never going to bring it to the internet. And the people who I was cool with where the misunderstandings or the us being at odds came to the internet, they brought it to the internet, not Freeze, right? And none of that stuff is incriminating. Like the people who I fell out with, that I used to be cool with, that y'all seen on the internet us going at it, none of that stuff was incriminating. But even still, I just don't like. I understand that information makes you vulnerable, right? And it can make you vulnerable to the wrong people, and it could put you in a messed up situation, right? So because of that, not just for the sake of staying out of jail and keeping people I know or associate with out of jail, it's just in my nature, man. My business ain't everybody's business. You dig? And I don't care if we have a fallout. I don't care if we like arch nemesis. If it ever makes it to the internet, it's not because of me. It's not me bringing it to the internet. It's those people bringing it to the internet. You dig? So, again, like I said, they swear up and down that they would never tell on nobody, and they haven't never told on nobody and all this shit, but it's just funny how you see this type of behavior from people who swear they wouldn't tell. You know, shout out to all the real street dudes who ain't never told on nobody and never will tell on nobody. You're never going to see any of them doing shit like this or even being a part of something like this, supporting something like this. You're never going to see it. You did? Like, for instance, like a Cartoon 5 Trey. I could never see Cartoon doing no shit like this. Or Kev Mack. I could never see Kev Mack doing shit like this. Or like a FG. Did be on the podcast with Alex Alonso from Street Gangs. I could never see FG doing no shit like this. So I just wanted to put some examples of people out there that represent LA who would never do no shit like this, because, you know, from people from the outside looking in, people out of town look at LA dudes and look at these Crips and Bloods and Hoovers and Pyrus and think to themselves like, damn, this how LA dudes get down? Like, damn, they making LA look crazy. But I just had to put some examples out there of individuals that's on the internet but keep it solid at the same time, and who you'll never see involving themselves in this type of behavior. But let's continue.
For doing some bullshit. And then and Molly Marl would tell you, he was like, I was in the wrong, I was fucked up, I was going to jail, I was off drugs and stuff like that. I was just fucked up. So I don't know why I play with you like that.
I don't know that, Molly. I guess when I come around, I've never seen him do drugs or none of that shit.
Yeah. So I told him that, and then I guess Big U told Molly Marl some shit, and then when Big U told Molly Marl some shit, he told you. Molly Marl told you.
He definitely told me some
and then
shit.
You called Big U, and when you called Big U, he got mad because you outed him, or Molly Marl outed him. So he basically said, fuck you and fuck Molly Marl. So
that's why he got mad at me?
He got mad at you because you called him as a man.
You see how Wack do? So that's why he got mad at me?
and you step to him, and he
Because
felt
Marley Marl's supposed to be his brother. I've seen Marley Marl bail him out of jail, give him his mansion.
And see, like, none of that is anybody's business. You dig? And see, if you notice, and I'm going to play another clip with just Wack and Adam in just a minute, where Wack is going in on Big U. Stuff like that. Bail him out of jail and do this, that, and the third. Like, that's nobody's business. And see, it just goes to show that Wack never really rocked with Big U how he tried to make it seem. He tried to make it seem like at one point in time, him and Big U was just so tight. But if that was ever the case, you know, if you ever had love for that individual for real, like real love for that individual, you know, even if you fall out, you're not going to bring it to the internet. You dig? This shit is just like, you know, this is the stuff that women do. You know, like when a broad get mad at you, you know, when the 304 blow up on the pimping, you know, this the type of stuff they do. They go to slandering the pimping like the pimping never put a smile on their face, like the pimping never did nothing good for them. You know what I mean? They get, you know, they go on a rampage and start, you know, slandering. They go on a slander campaign, start slandering the pimping like the pimping was just a monster and just a horrible person towards them the whole time they was rocking with the pimping. But if you hear pimping side of the story, it's like, man, I did this for the broad, I did that for the broad. You know what I mean? And I ain't got nothing bad to say about the broad, man. But, you know, she in her feelings for whatever reason, probably because she can't rock with the pimping no more. You know, that's the behavior you expect from a broad. So it's like it was all good. I was your best friend. You know, I was your brother. But when we fall out, you ain't got nothing good to say about me. And you want to, you know, make me look as bad as you can by talking about people bailing me out of jail. And it's like, it's crazy.
Give him the fucking mansion and say, here go the keys. Here go the keys of my cars. You my brother. I love you. When he was short on money, Marley Marl go in his pocket, look out for him. I saw Marley Marl help his artists, give him free beats. So when I hear some shit like that, because it was a situation on Sunset, Marley Marl's eating. You see some guys pull up and they get at Marley Marl, right?
Saying what?
They get at him. Ain't no saying nothing. Action.
They beat his ass.
They beat his ass. Okay.
They get at him, right?
Then look at the broad on the side. You know, Wack, even though, like, dude, you're already saying too much, but Wack is trying to be subliminal with the shit. They get at him. You know, he's implying that they, you know, they jumped on Marley Marl, put hands and feet on him. But the broad, you know, she got to put her 2 cents in. They beat his ass. Like, nobody was even talking to you. And this is Luce Cannon's broad. And as you going to see, that's another thing I want y'all to pay attention to. Just look how, you know, it's like she's the dominant one between the both of them. You know, if you really just pay attention to the interaction between Luce Cannon and the broad, you can see that she the one that wear the pants in their situation. You dig? Like, if she tell him to shut up, he gonna shut up type shit. You know what I mean? If she say, go get me some water, he gonna go get some water for the broad. You dig? But yeah, let's continue.
That's Luce. So I'm like, so I get the call, right? I'm like, he like, yo, I say, yo, who was that? He like, Luce Cannon. I say, what Luce? I say, where you from? Because I know it ain't him. Because Big U from 6-0. Ain't no way Luce get that Marley Marl like that. So when he say Luce Cannon, I'm like, from where? He like 6-0. I say, wait, that was Luce that did you like that? I said, hold on. So I called Big U. Hey, man, why is Luce doing that to bro? Now, you got to remember, me and Marley do real business. I come get a beat from him. You know, I pay him for his beat, give him his points. We got to hit him and Game and Jeremiah came from Marley, right? So Big U, like, laughs the shit off, right? So I'm like, yo, bro, what kind of shit you on? I thought Marley is... You know what I'm saying? What kind of shit you on?
Yeah.
Right? So then, you know, he started to make mention.
Now look, this is exactly what I'm talking about. The broad, how she just like control everything. Pay attention to what happens when he reached for his phone.
Of certain things, And I guess he must have called.
Look how she put her hand out. You know what I mean? See, man, excuse me, man. Excuse my pimping, man. Maybe it's just the pimping in me, man. It's like, bitch, what the hell you doing reaching for my damn phone? If you don't put your stupid ass hand down, that's what my reaction would have been. But, you know, she's reaching for the phone because this is a normal thing that they do. You know what I mean? Like, she probably got the password to his phone and everything, man. Straight sucker shit. You dig? But hey, man, just look how she immediately, I'm going to play that again. Just look how she immediately reached for the man's phone. Like, why you got your hand out for my phone? You don't get no calls on this phone. This is my phone.
Hard to make mention of certain things, and I guess he must have called you back.
Just put her hand out like he already know the drill.
Or called Marty back. He called Marty back and said, you called Wack? And told Wack, and at this point in time, Marty like, fuck me calling Wack. What's up with your homeboys doing me like that? You know, I didn't let your kids stay. I didn't did everything in the world for you. What's up with your... And at that point in time, I think Marty's light came on.
Yeah, but see, people don't understand, like Big U, he got his name for dealing with like niggas like me. So it's not like he actually doing work or putting in work himself or whatever. He just do it and then put his name on. Same thing like what Marley Marl do. Marley Marl act like he made this.
So he making it seem like Big U is like this big producer in the hood that be did be taking people's beats from did be taking people's beats from their ass. You know what I mean? Like how Marley Marl put his name on a beat that he didn't do. You know, he making it seem like Big U put his name on work that he didn't do. You know, but you know, and I don't know Big U personally, never met him, never dealt with him. I don't know this Luce Cannon dude either, but you got to think about what he's saying. He's basically making it seem like Big U ain't never put no work in, that the work that he takes credit for or gets credit for is stuff that other people have done, and he come behind it and make it seem like he did it. Now, the reason why I find that hard to believe is because Big U is a name that like, if you from LA, you've been hearing the name Big U in the streets for a long time. Like, I was hearing the name Big U as a kid, as a teenager in the 90s. You know what I mean? When this Luce Cannon dude was probably in preschool or elementary or something like that. You know what I mean? So you don't get a reputation like that for doing nothing. You dig? And I'm not trying to, like, you know, speak for Big U or vouch for Big U. I'm just telling you my own personal experience just being from LA. It's just certain names that you hear in the streets and you've been hearing them for so long, you know it got to be some validity to what's being said, especially when you hear from other, you know, reputable people that's about that life, you know, giving people like that they props. You know it got to be some truth to it. You hearing these names in the county jail, you hearing these names in the penitentiary, you hearing these names in the streets. You know what I mean? When you in high school, you hearing these names. Like, Big U is just one of them names, and I'm not trying to, like, make him into something that he ain't, but it's just a fact. Like, if you from LA, you've been hearing the name Big U way before the internet. You know what I mean? So I just find it hard to believe what he's saying. Like I said, I don't know Big U, ain't never seen him. But I just find it hard to believe what he's saying. Like, he making Big U like the like the Puff Daddy of the hood. You dig? Taking stuff and not giving people their credit for it.
He didn't take a picture in front of the studio, but actually he's selling you somebody else's product. You get what I'm saying? That's what Big U do. He finesse niggas. He acting
But is
like
that somebody's product? Because if Marley Marl provide the workplace, he provide the tools, and he say, yo,
And don't
I'm
give
gonna let
nobody
you
credit.
I'm gonna let you work here, and we're gonna cut this shit up. My influence is gonna bring the artist here to move the product. I never heard Marley say he did some beat.
But what kind of shit are you saying that Big U does
Yeah,
that
we
he
hearing
then?
this shit.
And you see Adam, like I said, Adam will throw his little logs in the fire every so often. Look at Adam. And see, Adam will try to play this like neutral. He'll try to take this neutral stance, like, oh, I don't want no problems with Big U, and I don't want Big U to think that I'm starting shit and I'm, trying to make him look a certain way. But look at the stuff that he does, though. You know what I mean? Adam want to keep the conversation on track, but when it's outside of these situations and you listen to Adam talk, he tries to make it seem like he doesn't. Like he tried to make it seem almost as if he don't want to talk about Big U, but people just keep coming on the platform speaking about Big U, and he don't want to go there, but they take it there. But look at what he does, though. They was talking about Molly Mall, and Adam is like, well, hold on, let's get back to Big U.
I never heard Marley say he did some beat.
But what kind of shit are you saying that Big U does
Yeah,
that
we
he
hearing
then
this shit.
stamps but doesn't actually do? You're talking.
Yeah, what kind of crimes, what kind of criminal activity are you saying that Big U stamps his name on that he doesn't actually do? What type of things that are against the law are you saying that Big U takes credit for that he doesn't actually do? Like, that's what Adam, like, and like I said, I can't be mad at Adam for being Adam. Adam is Adam. And if you don't recognize that Adam is being Adam, you don't know how to identify Adam being Adam, then that's on your dumb ass. But I just have to point this stuff out, though, so, people just pay attention and see what's going on.
Like street shit?
Yeah, they're like street shit. So basically, say if
Like street shit? Yeah, street shit. Hey, man, this boy Luce Cannon, man, bless his heart, man. Luce Cannon needs he needed a chaperone on this interview. He needed like a guardian on this interview, man, to like help regulate him, because as the name implies, his mouth is just a loose cannon. And he just goes off and just be talking crazy, as you're gonna see.
I go do something in the hood, right? And he knows about it. He'll tell everybody in the hood.
Like it's him.
So, like it's him, but then they be calling me. It was like, cuz you just did this, and I'm like, cuz that's like some police shit. Because why would you be telling, if me and you is the only person that know what we did, it shouldn't even go between me
Are you
and
woke, Luce?
Of course.
Are you woke now?
Yeah.
You know why he's putting it out there, right?
Of course.
He got to get that credit from that 7-7 street contract.
Of course.
And see, look at how Wack be instigating shit from the sideline. You know what I mean? See, like, this is what I want you to understand. For those of y'all who not from LA or not from Southern California or just California, period, this is what you got to understand. Like, in the hood, you always have older dudes like Wack 100 who manipulate younger dudes like Luce Cannon to say what they want them to say and do what they want them to do. You know what I mean? And, a big part of the way that they put this type of manipulation down is by putting a big hat on somebody like a Luce Cannon, making Luce Cannon feel more significant than he actually is. In actuality, Wack don't give a damn about Luce Cannon. Wack knows that Luce Cannon is a crash dummy, but to get the desired outcome from Luce Cannon that he wants, he gon' play nice and act like Luce Cannon is nephew this, nephew that. If he say enough nephews and give him enough pats on the back, then he gon' do what he want him to do. You dig? But just pay attention to how Wack is winding him up like a wind-up doll, and Luce Cannon is just going.
So at the end of the day, it's like, I realized, like, damn, it's 2023 and you got a BlackBerry. Like they didn't even.
How long have I been asking you about that BlackBerry?
Since 2015.
So that's the phone that he got?
Yeah, his name in the contract. 7th Street Division issued him a BlackBerry as a police issue phone to report all gang violence in his grid area. And this is an annual contract. If he doesn't produce, then they take it. He's been out of the contract 10, 11 years. He did such a great job. He went from $550,000 a year. They gave him a $440,000 bonus. We send the contract.
So, you know, Wack 100 is so cold, man. Like, it just, man, people don't understand, like, the type of stuff that Wack be doing right in front of their faces, man. You know, so he's implying like Big U is basically an assistant, you know, to the police. Like, whenever it's a crime to go on, Big U is just reporting crimes to the 77th Street Division Police. Come on, man. And, you know, the allegations on Big U's name just get more and more ridiculous, as you're going to see.
But listen, fuck all that.
Yeah. So basically, it's like, cause he'll be like he'll manipulate things. Like, we'll go and do something, and the same niggas we do it to show up to the house like 10 minutes later when we trying to, you know, counting everything, right?
Now, just pay attention to how ridiculous this dude is. Like, see, this is what I want y'all to understand too about this whole situation, man. These are the effects of clout. You know what I mean? Like, you know how every drug that people do, like, give different reactions. Like, if you see a crackhead under the influence, you're going to see a certain type of behavior from a crackhead. If you see a meth head under the influence, you're going to see a certain type of behavior from a meth head. If you see a perk head under the influence, you're going to see a certain type of behavior from a perk head. If you see an ecstasy junkie under the influence, you're going to see a certain type of behavior from an ecstasy junkie. This is the behavior of a clout junkie. You know, this is somebody who's high off clout, high out of their mind, just going off because they so intoxicated by this clout, you know, to where they ain't even in their right mind. You dig? That's what's going on right now. You know, like, for those of y'all that's old enough to remember back in the days, whatever neighborhood you from, if you black from the hood, from the ghetto, and you was around in the 80s and 90s, then you remember your neighborhood having a bunch of crackheads walking around. You know what I mean? And you see crackheads walking around, scratching themselves, talking to themselves, trying to break into shit. You know what I mean? Trying to, just doing a bunch of, like, crackhead shit. Now, the crackheads is clout heads. You see these clout people everywhere, strung out on clout, and they doing crazy shit off the clout. But the only difference is they not homeless, they not funky, they not they well groomed, they take showers and baths, so they don't look crazy like how crackheads look. But is the behavior is just as reckless. The behavior is just as crazy. That's what I want y'all to understand. These are the effects of somebody that's high off clout.
We be like, how the fuck they get that? Oh, well, we're going to just give them like $40,000 back and stuff like that. But because it's actually putting us in paperwork, right? And like doing like real police shit. I seen a nigga get like 20 guns. And when he got 20 guns, he's selling them to the homies. But I'm like, why are you writing down the serial numbers? So it's like he was doing like shit like that. And I didn't catch on. So
Hey, man, bless his heart. You know, I kind of feel bad for guys like Luce Cannon because I could just tell that, you know, he's been taken advantage of a lot throughout his life, man, because of his speed. His speed ain't up to speed with everybody else's speed, you dig? He's insinuating that Big U had these things. He had these firearms and he was distributing the firearms amongst the homies, but he's writing the serial numbers down and he's saying he didn't catch on. Like, how do you not catch on if this is really what happened and you are a street dude? And you from LA, how do you not catch on to something like that? That's just like, oh man, bless his heart, man. Y'all pray for Luce Cannon.
Like, I'm waking up now.
And then look at the broad on the side talking about some boy. Man, I could just imagine like the type of manipulation that takes place when they at home, him and this broad, man. I could just imagine how she be spinning his ass. Crazy.
You get what I'm saying? Because
this
I'm
is
his,
high tech shit.
I'm his right hand man. You get what I'm saying? So when it came down to like dirt and stuff like that, I'm gonna get it. You get what I'm saying? And then like one day,
you know why he wanted to get a dude back to 40, right?
Look at Wack. Just peep the manipulation. Like Wack is cold with this shit, man. I mean, he ain't really that cold to somebody else this cold, but to a guy like a Luce Cannon, man, he doing some vicious work on this boy. You know why he wanted to give him back to 40, right? Look at how man, I just went like, hey, people that's from LA, that's from the hood in LA, you just know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, or even if you've been to the county jail or you've been to the penitentiary, it's always an older homie like this that just manipulate their little homie to say and do all kind of stupid ass shit. That's what's going on right here.
Because he was going to make dude give him 20 for getting it back.
of course,
And kept you out of it.
of course, he did that to when I did that to Meek Mills and Rick Ross.
He put the battery in his bag and then he like, oh, he did that to me when I did that when I did that to Meek Mill and Rick Ross. Now he about to say some even more reckless shit. This is crazy. Like the stuff that he's alleging himself and Big U to be a part of, these are things that guys are on the yard for right now. These are things that got dudes in a jumpsuit laying on a bunk right now. Sitting up for count time right now. This dude is crazy.
What'd you do to them?
So
Look at what Adam. What'd you do to them? He mentioned Rick Ross and Meek Mill. What'd you do to them? And see, that's just the curiosity of them people. You dig? They just naturally invasive. That's just the history of they people. You know what I mean? Like they just naturally invasive, naturally nosy, naturally ask questions, and they don't care if the answers incriminate you or not. So what'd you do to them? And look at Luce Cannon. Oh shit, cuz let me tell you what I did to him.
Oh, the club, when you sweated him in the club?
yeah,
Dude, and Meek and Rick have no idea that Draw sent you at him.
Yeah.
no, yeah, they sent.
And look at how Wack do. Now, I don't know what type of relationship Meek Mill and Rick Ross might have with Big U, but look at what Wack is insinuating. Oh, Meek Mill and Rick Ross got no idea the draws, which is Big U, the draws sent you at him. Crazy.
Because I called Ross, I'm like, Ross,
Boy, this shit getting crazy.
drop off the 50,000, and we're gonna let Meek live on crib. So Ross dropped off the 50,000, and so me and the homies we go back. He stopped answering the phone. He stopped picking up and shit like that. And we were like, "What you doing?" Like 2 days later, he called me. He was like, "Oh nephew, where you at?" And I'm like, "Nigga, where my money at?" And he was like, "Oh, I needed it for bills. I needed it for." I'm like, "What?" Like, cause that's some weird shit. And then he stopped answering the phone because I'm trying to pull up on him. Like, bro, you got to come and see me. And then it's like we were doing a TV show like a while back, right?
Now this is where he just like, as you can see, the allegations get more and more outlandish as the cannon gets looser. The looser the cannon gets, the crazier the allegations get. That's what I want y'all to pay attention to, right? And again, like I said, these are the effects of clout. This what you see is somebody that's high out of their mind off clout. Somebody that want attention so bad that they will get it at all costs, and they don't care how it makes them look. They don't care what type of position it puts them in. They don't care if it incriminates them. They don't care if it puts them in physical danger. They don't care if it ruins their reputation in the streets. They just want clout so bad that, they gonna, put their neck on the chopping block for it, as you see. But just pay attention to how ridiculous it's about to get right here.
And I'm on a phone. He FaceTimed me. So he FaceTimed me and stuff like that. He was like, Nipsey just got killed. I'm like, sick, so I didn't hear that. So I hang up with him.
And then look at Wack. Watch what Wack do.
Called Nipsey, and I'm like, Nipsey, what's up? He was like, oh, what's up with it?
Nipsey answered.
Nipsey answered. He answered the phone, and I was like, I love you, cuz, or whatever like that.
Did you tell him the call you just got, or you didn't even mention it?
I didn't mention it.
And see, this is how you know that's just ridiculous because, you know, if my homeboy, let's just say hypothetically, you put me in that situation, or just any real street dude, you know, because, you know, Nipsey Hussle is not a regular person. You know, Nipsey Hussle is a superstar. You know, Nipsey Hussle at that time had just been nominated for a Grammy for Best Rap Album of the Year. Like, Nipsey Hussle is at his peak at this time, you know, and he's only getting bigger. So this ain't no regular person. You know, this ain't just like one of the homies in the hood, like, you know, Lil Man just got killed, right? This is not Lil Man. This is Nipsey Hussle. So if my homeboy is Nipsey Hussle and my other homeboy calls me and tells me that Nipsey Hussle just got deleted, and I call Nipsey and he answers the phone, that's not something that you just let slip by. You gon', you know, if this is a real situation, you're gonna be like, yo, man, I just got this crazy phone call, like, you know, saying XYZ, man, you know, be careful. Because immediately, like, if this is my homeboy, this is somebody that I got love for, you know, I'm gonna wanna wake him up to any possible, you know, because this is Nipsey Hussle. This ain't no regular person. So I'm gonna wake him up. Be like, yo, man, I just got this crazy phone call, man, saying, you know, XYZ, man, you know, you might want to, whatever you got going on right now, whatever your plans is, you might want to cancel that and go the opposite direction because, you know, that phone call got me concerned. I'm talking about if it really happened. But just, you know, when you understand psychology a little bit, you know, like I do to a certain extent, and why people do what they do and say what they say, you just know that what he's saying right now, there's no way it could have happened. The way he's explaining it, it just don't make sense. You dig? Even if as slow as he is, because he's showing you in this interview how slow he is. He ain't really up to speed with everybody else's speed. You know what I mean? He was one of them little kids that had them classes. You know, them kids that got them classes in them bungalows in the back of the school. You know what I mean? Them bungalows in the back that got like, you know, all the other classes that you in got like 30 and 40 kids in them. And, you know, them bungalow classes in the back, you know, they got like 5, 6, 7 kids in them. Like he was one of them kids in them bungalow classes in the back of the school. You know what I mean? He didn't go to class with the rest of y'all, you know? So, you know, this dude is just outrageous, man. But just listen.
That's what fucked me up because my cousin is Nipsey baby mama. You get what I'm saying? So it was like I could have probably stopped it or it had it.
Stop what? Fuck you mean? That fuck you talking about?
No, because listen. So after I talked to Nipsey and I was like, yeah, I love you, cuz or whatever like that. I'll see you later or whatever. So I hung up the phone. I thought Big U gave wrong information. 30 minutes later, the homies blowing me up like they just killed Nipsey. And so I'm like,
Wait.
Ski Mask, you stupid. Opportunity for learning. Exactly. That was him. He was in one of them classes, man. I'm telling you. You had 6 periods. He just had 1 period. You know what I mean? With like 5, 6 other classmates, man. You know? Yeah, definitely Shorty, for real.
You get a call from Big U telling you Nipsey just got killed.
yeah.
You panic, call Nip. Nip answer the phone.
Yeah, and
You
we
like,
were just
okay.
talking on regular, so
Regular.
it's like at the end of the day, I didn't even think about it because
You don't even
up.
warn him that you got that call from dude.
No, because their relationship was so fucked up. It'd be like they be hot one minute, then they be cold the next minute, and then they be lukewarm. Like you
And
just
30
never knew.
minutes after you get out the phone with Nip, he get killed.
Yeah, I got it.
So
all
you
on
think
the
he hit
TV
you
show.
a little too early?
Yup, he hit me.
Look at Wack, boy. This like Wack ain't cool, man. And it's like this dude right here, this loose cannon dude, man. He is just so easily manipulated. His mind is just so easily puppeteered, man. It's like if he really was in the streets gang banging, it's amazing that he made it to the age that he is running the streets gang banging in LA and South Central being this slow. I don't know. I got a hard time believing it, man. Maybe some people could verify like, oh man, Luce Cannon was really about that. I just find it hard to believe, man, him being this damn slow. Cause this dude, he just, I don't know. Maybe he might be fast in other areas that I just don't know. I mean, I just find it hard to believe, man. But just look at how Wack is just puppeteering this dude's mind, playing with his mind like a kickball. Oh, so you saying Big U called you a little too early? Goofy.
A little bit too early because the homie Shitty double back 3 times. You get what I'm.
And then watch what he say about the dude Shitty cuz. You know what I mean? This is some more shit that makes the story just ridiculous. Watch what he about to say about Shitty cuz.
And first he shot him, boom, go into the alley, came back and shot him, boom. It wasn't good enough, and then he came back and he shot him again. But now it's.
And that's not what actually happened. I ain't even seen the video because I don't like watching them type of videos. So the video of, what happened to Nipsey, I still to this day ain't never watched it, and I never will watch it because I just don't like watching them type of videos. But what he's saying happened, that ain't what happened. But then watch what else he about to say that's just ridiculous.
Like,
how did he know?
Yeah, no, but
that's crazy.
It's deep. So it's like, I don't know who to trust.
Now let me ask you a question. I heard this. I don't know how true it is. I heard that Shitty and Nipsey had a fight.
Yeah, they had.
Prior.
And you see how Wack is just so it's crazy. This is another reason why, again, I don't know. He might be official, the loose cannon dude. I ain't from over there. I don't know nobody that know this dude, so I can't say that he not official. But I just find it hard to believe that he is, especially if you really just this serious, real diehard dude from 6'0", how are you letting a Pyru manipulate you to air out your homeboy from your set, one of the most reputable names from your set, on No Jumper? On No Jumper with Adam22. Who don't give a damn about none of y'all. It's just good content for him. This is crazy. If you really just think about the dynamics of what's going on right here, it is ridiculous. You have this dude claiming 60s, airing out one of the most reputable names from 60s with a Pyru dude on a white man's podcast. This is crazy. But you ain't, nah, I ain't even gonna say that. But yeah, this is just crazy, man.
Yeah, they had a fight a week before that. When they had a fight, Shitty ain't known for fighting.
Yeah, not at all.
He known
not
for doing the other things. So at the end of the day, it's like Nipsey beat him up. Nipsey is what's like 6'4", 6'5". Shitty is like 5'5", 5'6".
And that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? He's saying that the dude Shitty Cuz, aka Eric Holder, is 5'5", 5'6". Where he got that from, I don't know. But hold on. I just want to show y'all something else. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Street TV right there, bam. I'm trying to find this post where Adam was kind of like debunking. Oh, here it go right here. Shout out to Alex Alonso from Street TV, man. That's what I love about Alex, because any type of like nonsense this out there, if Adam got the power to clear it up, if Alex got the power to clear it up, he gonna do it. So right here, you see a picture of Eric Holder standing next to Christopher Darden, which Christopher Darden is damn near 6 feet himself. And you can see here that Eric Holder is taller than Christopher Darden. But the caption says, for those who believe that Eric Holder is 5'5" and not 6'1", which the county jail has his height as listed. You can look at these photos with Holder standing next to his attorney, his first attorney, Christopher Darden, and his trial attorney, Aaron Jansen. Christopher Darden is approximately 5'11" to 6 feet tall, and Aaron Jansen is about the same height. All this to say that Eric Holder is not 5'5" and certainly about 6 feet tall. So, you see several pictures. But, if this is really your homeboy, how do you mistake that? That's like me saying Sinful was 5'5". When anybody who knew Sinful knew that Sinful was about 6'1" his damn self. You know what I mean? But, this is my homeboy, and I'm like, yeah, Sinful the P was about 5'5", 5'6". That don't even make no damn sense. But
saying like frails, like he get high.
So there was already some friction there.
Yeah, it was already friction because of like some police telling shit. And
now let me ask you something, bro, because I know you. See, you don't say nothing. You kind of like me in a way. You don't say nothing unless.
But the homies.
And look how Wack say, you kind of like me. You don't say nothing unless. But here it is. Both of y'all is known for just saying everything on the internet, but you talking about what you don't say. What do you not say? Because especially Wack 100, like he says everything on the internet. Like, what you mean? What you don't say this or that unless whoop-de-wop? Like, come on, man.
So it's like, it's not like I'm saying something that they don't know. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, it's like you telling me, oh, I'm fucking with the police or whatever like that, trying to smooth your background out. So I'm like, on 6-0, I'm going to expose your buster ass neighborhood crib. And if a nigga take it any type of way, they could get at me or I'll pull up and get at them. It's like.
So you pretty much saying he called you, told you Nip got killed. You called Nip in a panic. He answered the phone. Mm-hmm. When you hear his voice, you like, well, Nip ain't dead. But you don't warn him what he said. 30 minutes later, you get a call after the fact, Nip dead.
Yeah.
Outrageous, man. So that's just an example of how, cats be allowing themselves to get puppeteered into situations, man, just for the sake of some clout, just for the sake of some content. And, a few little dollars and things like that. But see, at some point, man, I can't speak for them guys, but as a dude from LA County with integrity, you don't just do any and everything for attention, and you don't do any and everything for the sake of money, right? It's just your integrity guards you from doing and saying bullshit anywhere, any kind of way, right? So it's like, when does your integrity kick in and say, hold on, man, don't do that. Or, hold on, man, stop right there. You're going too far. Like, when does your integrity kick in and regulate you? You know how how cars got governors on them? Like when you put the pedal to the metal on a certain vehicles, once it get to a certain speed, the governor kick in and won't let you go past that speed. That's how your integrity works as a man, right? Because if this is when emotions flare up. That's why I said this type of behavior is expected of women to do, right? But when your emotions might get the best of you, and you going off, your integrity is supposed to serve like that governor to a car. Your integrity is supposed to stop you and be like, hold on, man, don't, you're going too far, like chill out. And then you check yourself and you say, okay, I'm gonna chill out. But these dudes ain't got no chill. It's just crazy. Right? So that shit is ridiculous as hell. Now let's go to Wack 100. And, again, now it's crazy because Wack, he be puppeteering and manipulating all these dudes. But just pay attention to how Adam22 manipulates and puppeteers Wack 100.
How do you feel about Bricc Baby's observation that Shitty Cuz and Big U were probably never in the same room / have never had a conversation?
17 or 18 years I've been running with Big U when I ran with him.
Okay.
I've never seen Bricc Baby around. And I'm talking about to the living room of Big U's home, to his events, to the football field, the football games, to the studios, to the after-hour spots, out of town. I have never seen or heard the name Bricc Baby in life. 18 years. A bunch of other ones, seen them, knew what it was, that was what it was. They could show up before Big U got there and got entry. It was love, right? And it's still love today.
It is?
So whatever he talking about, he being fed that because he wasn't around.
He was busy.
He wasn't around.
He was doing
He was
his
out
thing.
of town some motherfucking where. So
Exactly.
any motherfucking day.
Getting money.
I don't know what he know, don't know. What I do know is, it is what it is. But you running the narrative that it just been a Big U marathon.
I'm not saying
it was
it's
just
all
so
that.
powerful, so
So, okay, Big U posted on Instagram, and this is part of it. Like, there's a bunch of different stuff here, but part of it says, don't let Adam22 and his butter boys get off when it's no video. And oh, by the way, I'm sailing a ship that can fly nonstop for 100 years. Who wants a ride? Wack and Adam22 voice, i.e., y'all will go for anything they say.
all right, Big U.
Man. Now you seen what Adam do, right? He's puppeteering Wack. He just put the battery in Wack's back. Now watch how Wack act after Adam put the battery in Wack's back. Here we go.
So you see how I'm getting looped in like I was the one talking about?
I want you to address it.
And then you see how Adam tries to make it seem like he just totally innocent. He like, you see how I'm getting looped in? Yes, because one is your platform, and then two, you here and there throwing logs in the fire. You one of the background dancers, but you still dancing though.
Big U, did you not ask me?
Look at the baby mama activities from Wack 100. Baby daddy, did you not ask me?
You can address this, Big U. Did you not ask me?
Baby daddy, did you not ask me to wash your drawers with no bleach? Then when I wash your drawers with no bleach, you mad at me because I didn't put bleach, but you told me not to put bleach. That's what this sounds like. And look he even got the facial expression of a baby mama that's just mad at the baby daddy. Baby daddy, did you not ask me?
Did you not ask me to act like your contracts were sold out to me that you had on Nipsey, and you wanted me to go attack Nipsey's estate after his death for 30%?
This is not going.
No, fuck that.
And see, this is what ain't cool, man. What I don't like about these people, man, is like I said, this is what clout does. Clout just has people high out of their mind to where they just do stuff and they don't think about how it makes them look. they don't think about how they disrespecting people's names and legacies that's no longer here. Like, you're implying some bullshit that has to do with Nipsey Hussle's name. Like, why? Like, bad enough you done already said that Nipsey wasn't a legend and all this old type of stuff, and but you think Blueface goofy ass is a legend. You know what I mean? Well, let me not call Blueface goofy because I don't know Blueface personally. Never dealt with him to call him goofy. But you say Nipsey wasn't a legend, but what legend, what person that's not a legend gets a star on Hollywood Boulevard? You know what I mean? The man done been nominated for Grammys. He done won. He posthumously won a Grammy. Got a star on Hollywood Boulevard, and did all of that independently as an independent artist. You dig? Like, if that ain't a legend, then I don't know what is. But bad enough, you done already said all of these, crazy things. I don't know. Wack just got a problem with, certain individuals that's no longer here. He done talk bad about Tupac, or talk down on Tupac, talk down on Nipsey, try to downplay both of their legacies. And, here he is now making some inflammatory allegations about Big U in regards to Nipsey Hussle. And it's like, you're not thinking about the fact that Nipsey still got kids this here, right? You don't know what type of relationship his kids might have with Big U, how they look at Big U. You're not thinking about his wife. You're not thinking about the mother of his daughter. You're not thinking about his mother and grandmother, his brother, his sister. Like, you just like so inconsiderate of those people. You did, and then everybody else that got love for the man. You just so inconsiderate of these people, man. His father, like, what's like, but again, this is what clout do, man. And see, like I said, integrity makes you think about things like that. Like, you know what? I'm not going to speak on Nipsey because I know he got kids. I know he got family that love and care about him. And, bad enough, he's not here. Bad enough, they still grieving and they ain't going to never stop grieving. Let me not include his name in no bullshit. But when you under the influence of clout, it suppresses that integrity and you just wild out, as you can see. Here we go.
I wrote. You want me to show you my phone?
No, I don't.
You want to see it?
No evidence is better, I think.
You want to see it? You want to fuck with me?
Do that on Clubhouse.
Okay, what I'm saying is stop questioning. Dude's a fucking liar and a fucking snake. And those that know him, they know he's a liar and a snake. Why in the fuck 30-something days after Nipsey's in the ground, you hitting this Paru about who you say is your little brother, about attacking his estate from across the street? Wack, I'm gonna give it to you, you go do it. No, that's his wife and kids. I'm not fucking with it. Why didn't you address him when he was alive? You was with him. Why didn't you say, hey, homie, what's up with my 30%? Why did you act like it was all cool? Yo, whoa, everything is cool. But as soon as he died, you reached out to me about attacking his estate. The contents in my phone, dated. The date he died, you see the date he sent it.
And see, this is what's crazy because, like I said, these are supposed to be these hardcore gang member street dudes from L.A. that, ain't never told on nobody, wouldn't never tell on nobody. But see, again, like I said, there's people who irrefutably never told on nobody. Some of their names I mentioned earlier that be on the internet, right? Ain't never told on nobody. But you ain't gonna never catch them doing stuff like this, right? You're not gonna catch them doing stuff like this. It's certain older cats from LA, OGs and shit like that, that, get on the internet and they do their content thing and stuff like that. But, first of all, they don't promote street shit. They don't promote gangbanging. They just get a testimony, and you know, a lot of it they use as like cautionary tales on what not to do, how not to move, not to make the same mistakes we made, so on and so forth, right? But you're never gonna catch them, you know, like again, like I said, like a Kev Mack, Cartoon 5 Trey, FG, Professor Melly Mel. You know, these dudes, you're not gonna catch them doing stuff like this. You know, you're not gonna see them get upset, and I'm pretty sure they have disagreements with people that's well known, but you're not gonna see them get upset to the point where they get on the internet and do this kind of stuff. You dig? That's the true behavior of somebody who you know ain't gonna tell on you. I'd be scared to be involved with somebody like this. I'd be like, damn, shit, I hope the nigga don't say this. I hope he don't say that. You know what I mean? I would be afraid. If this was my homeboy and I done did some dirt with him, I would be afraid. I'd be like, damn, I wish I could just push a delete button and delete certain activities I done got involved with this dude, man. Damn. Why the hell I get involved with him? Boy, he gonna sink the whole ship.
Details of what he wanted me to do. Signature line.
Right, 16 to life too. Shout out to 16 to life, you dig?
Flo Bell, Eugene Henley, Nipsey's information.
Matter of fact, shout out to 16 to life. Shout out to 89 on up. Shout out to damn, I can't remember the name of dude's platform, but the dude Crazo from Raymond, from Inglewood. Shout out to him. You know, shout out to Inglewood Legends. Yeah, shout out to all the cats from LA. Shout out to S. Wiggins. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the cats from LA to do their content. Much love.
The contract, where is it told he want to attack all that? Listen, bro, he's a piece of shit. And he better stop fucking with me. Every time you utter my name, I'm going to wear your ass out. Nigga, I'm a real Paru. I don't give a fuck about none of that. It's going to be what it's going to be. Nigga, you ain't like that anyway. You got niggas is like that, but you ain't like that. He ain't like that. He ain't showing up.
Why does he keep looking at Adam like, like he's swearing up and down that Big U ain't like that, but why are you looking at Adam for like validation? Like you looking like you just want Adam to say, that's right, boy, you go ahead. That's right, boy, he ain't like that. That's right, boy, you right, you tell him. Man, this shit crazy.
Dolo. I know, nigga, you just sat in my living room with your head down. This is a fact. So at the end of the day, fuck Bricc, baby. He's a bitch. Ain't nobody dictating what the fuck. I don't dictate what they do. They be in there running all kind of niggas' names.
I don't think they talk about you, right?
Bullshit.
Do they?
Fuck out of here. They run all kind. I don't say nothing. Fuck it, it's content. Let the content. But don't go to crying like a little bitch when out of 2 hours, there's a 13-minute conversation.
But if the 13-minute conversation is accusing him of basically soliciting...
I don't know. Look, bro, we heard what we heard. The man said what he said. He said it's coming out when it's coming out, February 14th.
Oh, there's a date. That
February
really that might fuck up my Valentine's Day plans.
Flix, on his fucking reality show.
He should drop it on No Jumper South.
No, we ain't fucking with that.
All right. The point I want to get across is just that I'm trying to keep this under control. Obviously, I am in this room with an out-of-control bull who has been injected with all kinds of testosterone. I am limited in how much I can control, but I'm going to try to maintain peace on this platform. I am pushing peace, in fact.
Adam, listen to me.
His words do not reflect the opinions of Adam22 or No Jumper as a whole.
It reflects Wack 100.
Look at how watch this. I want y'all to pay attention to how Adam sons Wack 100, and then Wack tries to put himself shoulder to shoulder with Adam, but it's like, nah, you my son. Pay attention.
Adam22 show.
Okay, what about just Wack 100? How about Wack, not Adam? How about Wack has this agenda, Adam is kind of on the outside?
Your voice don't mean nothing in certain politics anyway.
Well, that's fair, but I am the guy who has this big platform that is allowing you to spread whatever narratives you want to get.
Hey, wait, let's fix that. You ain't allowing me to do shit. We work together.
We work together, sure.
Yeah, we ain't allowing me. I'm not these other little dudes in here.
But
yes, he is allowing you. You see how Wack didn't like that. That was like a Dame Dash type of moment. That's a response Dame Dash would have had. But look at how, like, you know, Adam pretty much lets it be known what Wack's position is at No Jumper. You know, you a worker. I'm allowing you to be here because he talking about they partners. But if you're really partners or you really work together, then how is it that, you know, because if Adam really wanted to, he could tell you, get your ass up out of here. And you could, you know, put it on Pyru and all that old shit. But, you know, Adam being the civilian that he is, if he called the police and the police come over there, you know, this is if you don't want to leave on Pyru. If the police come over there and say, look here, Mr. Pyru, get your ass up out of here because the owner said get up out of here. And you tell the police, man, we partners. We work together. Well, get your work together ass up out of here. Because the owner, Mr. Adam22, he said, you know, get your work together ass up out of here. So you going to get your work together ass up out of here. You know what I mean? You're going to put it on Pyru from across the street. You will not be putting it on Pyru inside the No Jumper building. You're going to do that shit across the street. I'm sure he could hear you from across the street. Your voice projects pretty well. You know what I mean? If you want to, you probably could go to, you know, Best Buy or something like that, or Walmart. They probably got bullhorns over there that you could use to yell across the street and put it on Pyru. You know what I mean? And I'm sure he could hear you. But, you know, you do that shit from across the street. Don't you bring your ass back over here no more. So, no, y'all don't work together, man. Y'all not, you know, y'all not equal partners. You are an employee of No Jumper. I'm pretty sure that just like everybody else, like while you sitting up there trying to say you not these other dudes, pretty sure like everybody else at No Jumper, you're on payroll. Adam cuts you a check for your work as an employee, whatever the pay period is, once a month or however, you know, often y'all get paid. You're an employee, dude. You're a worker. You know what I mean? So stop it.
Who has this big platform that is allowing you to spread whatever narratives you want to get.
Hey, wait, let's fix that. You ain't allowing me to do shit. We work together.
We work together, sure.
Yeah, we ain't allowing me. I'm not these other little dudes in here.
But
yes, he's allowing you, sir. You're allowed to be there. Because just like he's allowing you to be there, he could allow your ass to not be there whenever he feel like it.
I'll view whatever comes out on this podcast as stuff that I could have edited, that I could have not put out.
Hey, one of our understandings is we don't edit shit. You know it. I try to get shit edited for certain people.
And young Bruce, no, that is incorrect. The only real partner in No Jumper is Adam22 and Adam22. You know what I mean? Like, none of those guys that you see on the platform are partners of No Jumper. No Jumper was created by Adam22. You know, Adam22 started that shit and he built that shit. And, you know, he's the boss of that shit. Ain't none of these guys that you see up there, no matter how much you like their personalities and what they say and how they move and all that old shit, you know, no matter how cool you think they are, ain't none of them dudes partners at No Jumper. They are all employees. They are all on No Jumper's payroll. They all get a check as an employee. Ain't none of them dudes partners. You know, when you look at the paperwork for No Jumper, the corporate paperwork, when you look at the tax paperwork, the W-9s or whatever it is that the 1099s, whatever, you know what I mean? Like the shit for No Jumper, they names ain't on that. Their names ain't on the documents for No Jumper. You know what I mean? Dun and Bradstreet numbers, tax ID numbers, and all that shit. The only name you're going to see on there is Adam22's name. That's it.
Just fucking keep it real.
I know you're going to use that against me.
No, we're not mentioning it, though. We're going to keep it clean. And you asked me to, like, let's edit certain shit. I'm like, fuck it, it is what it is.
I do think that us not, I know various podcasts that basically have this edit culture where anything good that they start talking about, they end up editing it out. And I hate that.
We ain't doing that.
And I do feel like if we have a guest on this podcast that we are platforming, that we basically owe it to them to, you know, allow them to say whatever it is that they got to say. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to create a sustained anti-anybody narrative on here.
So let me get this right. There's a 13-minute segment out of 23 episodes where his name comes up. And you're saying what to me? Dude, hey, look, Adam, dude ain't got that kind of control on nothing I stand on. He ain't got no say-so on nothing I stand on.
Why do you have to say that? If that's like the truth, if you sincerely believe that, why do you have to keep pointing that out? Big, you ain't my daddy. You ain't my daddy. Boy, this shit crazy.
That's a fact. So he can call, he can do whatever the fuck you want. That shit don't work with me, nigga. I'm Paru. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do, say what the fuck I want to say, and whatever come with it, come with it. That's a fact. So all that, him calling over there, Bricc baby ain't got no.
Okay, so Bruce, you say I heard Sharp's contract was structured different from everybody else. That's all I know. Okay, that may be true. But at the end of the day, you know, however his contract is structured, you know, he works for No Jumper. That's just a fact. Like, he's not a partner. A partner is when, you know, you and your partner have equal ownership, equal power, equal say-so. You know what I mean? Like, if Adam wants to, he can fire all of them dudes and tell them, get your ass up out of here. You're not a partner if somebody can do that to you. You know what I mean? The only way that can happen and you're really a partner is if you have like a board of directors and, you know, there's multiple people that have shares in that company and, you know, the other people on the board vote you out, you know, kind of like what happened with Steve Jobs back in the day or something like that. That's the only way that happens. But as far as like, and that's, you know, that's Apple. But with No Jumper, though, Adam can fire everybody that you see on there if he wants to. And by himself, there's not a board of directors who votes and says, who's in favor of Sharp getting up out of here? Say aye. And then everybody vote. And then, you know, because everybody voted in favor of that, Sharp got to get up out of there. No. Adam himself has the power to fire all of them dudes. So nobody is a partner at No Jumper but Adam. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if they go off and create, like say for instance with Wack and Adam, how they got the Wack and Adam show. Like if they go off and create a separate platform called the Wack and Adam show, then in that situation they would be equal partners. But the Wack and Adam show is on the No Jumper platform. So that shit belongs to Adam. You know what I mean? So ain't none of them dudes don't it don't matter. I don't care what kind of contract they got. You know what I mean? All that type of shit, they not partners. They's employees.
Say so. That's a little motherfucker. He a little nigga. He's a worker. He ain't got no say so.
You're a worker too, sir. You know what I mean? Your payroll checks say No Jumper, just like Bricc baby and everybody else, man. So he trying to little boy Bricc baby and all that shit, but you're an employee of No Jumper. Just y'all got the same job. Same job. Like what's different between Bricc baby's position at No Jumper and Wack 100's position at No Jumper? Like what's the difference? That's what I want to know. You know what I mean? They both have the same type of power over there. They both can be fired by Adam22 whenever he feels like it. So you a worker too, dude. Stop it.
Saying is, we had one segment out of 23 episodes that his name came up.
About a murder.
Right?
Not just a regular conversation.
They never said he murdered anybody.
Well,
the murderer's been convicted.
Right.
It would actually take the murderer to say that.
3 the harder way. I don't know what chat you talking about. I might have missed it accidentally, but you know, if I ever do miss a chat, you know, my P don't stand for perfect. So it's a possibility that I might not have seen the chat that you're talking about. I know I responded to a few of your chats yesterday, but if I did overlook one of your chats, then that's my bad. I apologize to you. But you said I was saying a woman's rejection has nothing to do with yourself. Cogidence. I guess you meant to say confidence. I was saying a woman's rejection has nothing to do with your self-confidence when you know what you bring to the table. Do you agree? We'll get to that in a minute. You know what I mean? I want to stay on topic. But yeah, let's continue.
And what would be stopping Shitty Cuz from airing that out if that was the case?
I don't know. I mean, that's on Shitty Cuz.
Seems unlikely to me.
That's on Shitty Cuz.
Right. Okay. But
I don't think Luce Cannon said Big U murdered him. But he just said
he's saying that he knew about it a half hour before it happened.
He said way too damn much. You know what I mean? And you know what you was doing. Don't try to backpedal now. You and him, you know, was trying to imply or insinuate something along those lines, man. Like y'all just, you know, creating a whole tornado on this internet, man. Stop it. You know, like this ain't no real dude shit. This ain't no street shit. This ain't no LA shit. This just ain't how, you know, this shit ain't cool. All the shit y'all doing on the internet ain't cool.
You know, respect.
How would anyone know about that kind of thing before it happened? Especially when
a lot of people know about a lot of shit.
From all perspectives, though, it was basically.
See, United Stand America. You say Wack 100 got seniority over Bricc Baby. How? You know what I mean? Like, how does he have seniority over Bricc Baby? First of all, Bricc Baby, if I'm not mistaken, has been on No Jumper longer than Wack 100. Or if not longer, about the same amount of time. But you probably saying that because Wack 100 is older. And, you know, maybe because he's older and, you know, he's known for certain things to a certain extent. But as far as if you're talking about just No Jumper, how does Wack have seniority over Bricc Baby? Because I'm pretty sure that if it was up to Wack 100, Bricc Baby, if Wack had the power to fire Bricc Baby, then I'm sure he would have by now. But he obviously doesn't have that power. You know what I mean? And then that's another thing too. Like, you saying he got seniority over Bricc Baby, but they both still work there at the same. They've been working at the same building for a minute now. You know what I mean? It's evident, you know, Wack has made it very clear that he don't like Bricc Baby and he don't respect Bricc Baby. But Bricc Baby is still there though. So that should tell you something.
Dude who just did some random shit that nobody besides maybe the girl who was driving would have known about prior to it happening.
You're going to force me to You want me
we'll change the topic even. You can do whatever you want on Clubhouse.
How about they go look up who the grid contract was finna be transferred to? That's $1 million a year, right?
Okay.
Leave me the fuck alone, bro.
Yeah, so as you can see, man, That's the, like I said, that's the effects of somebody being strung out on clout and high out of their mind off of clout, man. It just, you know, when people be high off clout, man, they do ridiculous things. They say ridiculous things, you know, and this is what I want y'all to understand, right? See, Wack is old enough to where he comes from a certain time where he was a grown man and social media wasn't what it is now, right? Other people I kind of can understand more because, you know, if you grew up with social media, then I can understand why certain people do certain things on the internet. But when you did not grow up with social media, you know what I mean? Like Wack 100 grew up with Atari, Nintendo, marbles, pogo sticks, unicycles, football, basketball, baseball outside. You know, that's the era that Wack come from. You know, playing outside in the streets, you know what I mean? Football, all that type of shit. That's the childhood that he had. He didn't grow up on social media. So what I want you to understand is that, you know, with respect to that era, the stuff that you see Wack participating in, if there was no such thing as a social media in the clout, you would probably never see this side of Wack. Just like if he was a crackhead, you would see sides of him that you never thought was there. Or if he was strung out on meth, or if he was strung out on fentanyl, you know, you would see sides of him that you probably never thought was there. Like, damn, I can't believe Wack doing this shit, man. You know, I've been knowing Wack for 20 years, man. I can't believe he doing this shit, you know? Just like I'm sure it's certain OGs who done been on a prison yard with Wack, just looking at him, or, you know, certain OGs that probably was in the streets banging with him back in the day, just looking at him like, damn, man, I can't believe Wack doing this shit. Like, he never was like that back in the day. Yeah, because the clout was not there. You know what I mean? So that's what I want you to understand about some of these older guys. You know, some of these older guys was just going to be suckers no matter what, you know, but then you have some older guys that didn't start doing weird sucker shit until they got strung out on clout. You know, now they clout zombies, they clout junkies, they clout demons. You dig? So, but yeah, so, moving on to the next, puppet, the next no jumper puppet. So again, look at how the puppet master, AKA Adam22, just, you seen how he manipulated the situation with Luce Cannon. You seen how he manipulated Wack 100. Now you're going to see how he manipulates 600. Here we go.
So at what point does shit start to go left with you and Big U?
And you see how Adam, you know, asks these questions and he tries to make it seem like they just so innocent and like he really don't want no problems with Big U and he ain't trying to make Big U look bad and, you know, he got this neutral stance and all this old shit. But look at what he does. He asks these kind of questions.
Oh, man. So.
And then here he go. He done wound up 600. Now look at 600 go. Here you have it again. A dude that's, you know, claiming the 60s, talking about his misunderstandings or whatever you want to call it with another dude from his same neighborhood, and he's discussing this business with Adam22. Like, Adam22 being who he is and what he is, looking how he look, moving how he move, not being from the same world that you from. You discussing this, and you only been knowing Adam probably a year or something like that. You know what I mean? And you and Big U come from the same neighborhood. You know, y'all probably go back some years or whatever the case may be. And you discussing your misunderstandings with that man, with this man, Adam22. It's crazy.
It's a lot of situations I'm not gonna speak on, but he's been like throwing me in situations I had nothing to do with for no reason. And I've been having to come back like that day, clear my name up, and show who I am and what I'm really about. So, been doing this for years. So when I get back from Dubai, my gun license come. This is like in March this year. So I got my gun license. Now, I'm not saying we've been toting pistols all our life, taking penitentiary chances. Now I got the gun license. So he's lying on me, telling my homies he ain't got no gun license. I was with him when he went to jail. He can't get a gun license. If he got a gun license, he telling. 600 telling. That's what he's telling multiple people, multiple of my homies. So I don't know why he's doing this. I'm just like, why is he hating on me? Putting my life at danger. You know what I'm saying? So by him.
And see, I just want y'all to understand how strange this shit looks. He's having this discussion with Adam22 on No Jumper. You dig? And see, this is why, you know, I just got so much respect for, you know, the people from our own people that have these kind of platforms. Of course, they might not be as big, but you know, they don't get involved in this kind of messy shit. You dig? Shit that could potentially get people, you know, put in a bad situation in real life. You dig? But let's continue.
Having no paperwork on me, presenting paperwork, coming to the hood, by him not, you know, doing something about it. I was like, oh, he wanted to just play a game and talk. We could talk. Well, I could talk.
You said, how is that putting his life in danger, Dave from the Bama? Because, you know, they from a gang. And if your homies think that you snitching, then that could definitely put you in danger. Right? Because you just never know what somebody might take it upon themselves to do if they think that you telling. And, you know, of course, if it's somebody that they trust and respect saying, yeah, you know, such and such telling, right? That's definitely putting your life in danger. So I understand what he's saying there, but I don't understand how and why he's having this discussion on No Jumper with Adam22. That part of it is crazy. You know, this is the discussion you have amongst your people or with the man that you have the issue with. But you don't get on No Jumper doing this shit. This shit is crazy.
That's when I start talking. Who you talking to? Nigga, you got a contract with LAPD. You on paperwork. So I start talking.
What's the nature of this?
So I start talking. And you see how he started off saying, you know, I ain't going to speak on certain stuff. But then now he talking about, so I start talking. This shit is crazy, man. This shit is like one big episode of Maury Povich. You know what I mean? Jenny Jones, Ricky Lake, Jerry Springer. You know what I mean? That's what all this shit remind me of.
Alleged contract with the
LAPD
LAPD.
contract?
Yeah. What is that about?
And look at Adam, this alleged contract, LAPD. What is that all about? Boy, these dudes be just allowing people to put batteries in their back, man. But because they strung out on clout, they don't even see what's happening to their ass.
The contract with the LAPD, the grid program. He has an LAPD issued cell phone that's stipulated in the contract. You have to be on call 24/7 and report to the station. It's in his contract.
Isn't that?
And see, he's saying it's in his contract, but I guarantee you know, I don't know for sure because I ain't around none of these people. I don't know none of these people. But I just know how niggas is. And I guarantee you that none of these guys have actually sat down and read the contract that they talking about. This supposed contract that Big U got with 77th Street Station, I guarantee you none of these dudes have sat down and read that contract. But they telling you what's in it, though. Shit is crazy.
Supposed to be like intended to basically alleviate gang tension or problems in various neighborhoods. Isn't that the whole idea of it?
I don't know.
It's supposed to be a positive thing, but
And now he's saying he don't know. But he just a few seconds ago, you telling everybody what's in the contract, but then when Adam asks you about what's in the contract, now you don't know.
see how some people
But
repurpose
whatever
this
it
as
is,
if it's
and
telling,
it probably
right?
is a positive thing. And I've
It probably is a positive thing, whatever it is. Like, you can't go from speaking matter of factly like you know what's in the contract, but then when you're asked about what's, certain details in the contract, now you don't know. Come on, man.
this on record before.
Okay.
If that's what you're gonna do, I really commend you for that, because where we come from, there is no retirement as a gang member. That's honorable. You got a contract with the LAPD, you get a nice check, and you're able to stop this gang stuff that's really killing a lot of people.
Right.
I respect that. The problem he has is when he comes back to the streets and tries to politic, act like he's still in the streets, knowing that you done broke the rules, you forfeit the game already. You signed a contract with LAPD, you've been on the phone with detectives. So you don't have no say-so over here. So this is where the problem comes. Then he's lying, politicking, and saying stuff about me. Just lying, though. Not even saying, 600 told in 1991, here's the paperwork. You're making up lies, putting my life in danger.
I guess like the thing with having that role and having this, LAPD issued cell phone or whatever is that you could use that role in a way that is entirely about maintaining peace. But then a lot of people are also going to assume that you could very easily be telling them shit that could be used against people in criminal investigations. I'm sure that if I were to sit down and have a conversation with him about it, he's going to say, by no means am I ever going to use this relationship that I have with the city to put anybody away or whatever. But then, like, to the gang members, the people who are in the street, they're looking at it as, well, you could, and we would have no idea. So they look at it as problematic.
This thing with that, right? He got his recontract renewed over the years. Now, if it was like a lick, right, and we in the hood, hey, bro, the police trying to give us a check. Let's just make up some shit. Let's just get the check. That's honorable to the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, they worked the LAPD for $1 million. They got a check from them. They gave them all fake information. But when you do it and give them enough sufficient information to renew your contract every year, you're protected.
But see, you see this is what ain't cool, and this is what I don't like about the internet, right? He's saying that he's giving them enough sufficient information to renew his contract every year, but they don't even know what's in the contract, though. They don't even know what his job detail or what's required of him in this contract. They ain't sat down and read the contract. So this is what I don't like about, our people. We just speak on shit matter-of-factly like we know what we talking about when we don't. Like, you don't even know what you talking about. And you're accusing Big U of speaking on something that he don't know what he talking about as far as you telling, and that putting your life in danger. But how do you know, like, you're basically doing the same thing. You're insinuating something about him that you can't prove or that you haven't proved. You're insinuating like he working with them people in a way that, like, he compromising, people from your neighborhood. Like, he might potentially, be working to put people from your neighborhood away or people from the streets, period, away. But you cannot prove that. You have not proved that. You did. See, like I said, this is what clout do. People be wanting clout so bad that they will just get in their feelings and get on the internet and just say anything, man. This type of shit ain't cool, man. You dig? And like I said, just me, being from Los Angeles, California, LA County, I just wanted to speak on this because, like I said, I know it's people from out of town that be looking at these dudes doing this shit and they be thinking to themselves like, damn, man, I thought LA, you think of Boys in the Hood, you think of Menace to Society, you think of Colors and shit like that. You think about DJ Quick and Ice Cube and NWA and Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and all that type of shit. And you thinking like, man, I can't believe these dudes come from that place acting like this. What I want y'all to understand is, this is a small minority of people that come from LA. But everybody from LA ain't like this, man. You got these kind of people everywhere, and it's just unfortunate that these type of people just so happen to come from LA and they have the voice and the freedom to get on these type of platforms and, act a monkey. But let's continue.
And what they want to participate. And like I said, that's honorable. You know, it's nothing. I applaud police officers, all law enforcement, fire department. I applaud those people.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't play both sides. That's what the problem is.
Hey, Ty Love, you stupid as. I ain't even get into that. But yeah, she said, I don't trust anyone with those jeans. You see, that's a whole nother conversation because, yeah, like, you know, he ain't no little dude. You know what I mean? Like, this dude is probably a good, 6'3", 6'4", you know what I mean? 260, 270 pounds. And you got these damn jeans with these cuts in them, man. Like, but I ain't messing with you, Ty. I'm not finna go there with you. You know what I mean? Let's continue.
But it almost feels like, he's been in this shit forever, damn near from its inception.
Mm-hmm.
And at a certain point, with him getting older, it's like you would expect or you would hope that at a certain point that he would basically change his focus from having problems with people or doing dirty work and kind of switch over to how do we make the community better. And it almost feels like if he wants to do that, if you want to be a community organizer or whatever, probably at a certain point you're going to have contact with the police. Now, there's a way that you do that everybody could agree was productive and positive, and then there's another way that you could look at it where it could be like, oh, you could use that role to basically do bad things to the people you don't get along with and help keep eyes off of the people you do fuck with.
Yeah, I didn't even look at that part. That's a whole nother topic. I didn't even talk about that.
Oh,
I was just saying just about the involvement with him, period. And like I say, it's respectable and honorable for him to do that. And every gang member in L.A. would respect him for that.
Okay.
His problem he's having is when he tries to play both sides. Can't play both sides. If you walk away from the streets, hey, man, I'm trying to do this police thing.
But this is what I want you to understand too, man. All of these people that's on here talking about Big U, one thing that can't be debated, they could say this and say that, and I don't know none of these guys personally, but what I do know for sure is that none of these guys' names ring in the streets like Big U. None of these guys' names and reputations are respected on the level of a Big U. None of them. Not Wack 100, not this dude 600, not the Luce Cannon dude, not Bricc Baby. None of these people that you see on these platforms, and especially on No Jumper, none of their names hold weight in the street like Big U. That can't be debated. They can say what they want about them, and I don't know how true and not true the shit is that everybody is saying. But like I said, if you come from LA, don't these dudes we ain't never heard of before the internet. Big U was famous in the streets before the internet. You know what I mean? These are just guys that they might have really was out there. They might have really was doing their thing, but they name wasn't ringing bells all over California like Big U. You know what I mean? Like Big U name is known all over California. He just one of them dudes. You can't take that from him. You know what I mean? So with that being said, when you understand the position of power that he has, like how he talking about he can't play both sides, you've never been in that position, so you can't say what somebody in that position can and can't do. You dig? You never know. He might be using that position to better the neighborhood in a certain type of way or give the neighborhood a certain type of leverage, And maybe if you was to sit down and chop it up with him a certain type of way, he might give you some game on how to make certain moves. You dig? You just never know. But, it's just, this is the ignorance that goes on among our people where, we don't have the details when it comes to certain things, and we talk about the shit like we done sat down and studied the shit and know all the ins and outs when, he ain't did none of that. And he don't know what Big U's dealings is with them people because he ain't involved. He ain't read the contract. He probably ain't never sat down and chopped it up with Big U about the shit. So he don't even know what's going on. You dig? So, but that's enough of that. Now let's go to Bricc Baby. And see, out of all of these dudes, I'd have to say that Bricc Baby is the least reckless, but he still be saying and doing stuff that he shouldn't be saying and doing. And, you about to see here. Here we go.
I did a Christopher Lovejoy interview last week at the store, and I knew going into it that he was going to have some words for Big U, right?
You see how Adam tried to play the role like he just, like he don't, like he don't want to have nothing to do with it. Like he's an innocent party, but you be asking these questions, dude. Like, stop it. I just want y'all to pay attention to how the puppet master himself be getting down, man. How he be throwing rocks and hiding his hand.
And so we talked about it on the interview, but it was realistically only like 5 minutes worth of the conversation. Was like him throwing some shots at Big U. And it was pretty basic shit. It was like, him basically saying that Big U got this job with the city or whatever, or he got a phone that
public record.
Yeah, everybody knows about this, where he's like, communicating with the city about gang stuff, and it's basically like him kind of helping to.
What type of phone is it?
They said it was a BlackBerry.
It's a BlackBerry. Okay.
I don't know, but either way, it's like. That was really like the only main thing that Christopher Lovejoy said about Big U, whatever.
Would you believe me if I told you I've never seen Big U with a BlackBerry? And would you believe it yourself? Because I know you've seen him a couple of times. A BlackBerry is very distinct.
Oh, if I saw someone with a BlackBerry, I'm probably not going to forget. Listen, I'm not saying that that's true.
No.
I'm just saying that's what he said.
I just was saying, all right, go ahead.
And I've heard other people say that too, so I kind of assume that was true. Whatever.
If you see a BlackBerry, you going to be like, damn, you still got a BlackBerry?
But so whatever. I did that interview, and then a couple days later, somebody hits me up, and they say, hey, I'm trying to get my boy Luce Cannon on your podcast. And one of the things that they said about it was he can talk about his issues with Big U. And I searched his name on YouTube real quick. I seen a couple of clips of him talking about Big U, and I responded to the person who was saying it, and I said, listen, he seems dope and shit, but I'm not really trying to like fully throw gas on the flames right now because I just did the 600 interview, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to get at Big U by interviewing anybody who's got something negative to say about him, especially given that like very few people have had negative shit to say about him.
And you see how Adam, he just keep trying to take this neutral stance, but you be asking questions, this dousing the flames, as you say. You ain't trying to douse the flames, but you be asking questions, this dousing the flames. That the answers to your questions is dousing the flames. Like, knock it off, dude. I just want y'all to pay attention to the puppet master, man. Adam is the puppet master. Bricc Baby is his puppet. 600 is his puppet. Wack 100 is his puppet. Luce Cannon is his puppet. You know what I mean? All of them dudes is Pinocchio, and Adam22 is Geppetto. You know what I mean? Just pay attention to how Geppetto be getting down, man.
For the years, right?
Yeah.
Wait, 600 who? Breezy?
No.
Christopher Lovejoy, Crimac old manager.
Oh, bro.
That dude that I had the conversation
That just walked out when we walked in.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'll be feeling.
I mean, he was a cool nigga to me.
He cool.
I don't know, cause his
but
shit.
you remember, you see, but that's what I had that talk
That's what
with
you
him
were saying.
about.
You say you can't really fuck with him on that type of vibe. But he from 602.
Yeah.
Oh, so I mean that's like intermediate.
But I couldn't show no internal in front of y'all.
I mean,
I had to.
You say you couldn't show no internal in front of y'all, but y'all always on here talking about this shit that, misunderstandings with each other. But like I said, Bricc Baby, I think actually Bricc Baby is probably the most well-intended out of all of these dudes. But, he still, I think Bricc Baby just needs somebody to pull his coattail and he'll be all right. The other dudes, I don't know if it's any hope for. Like, Wack 100, he's definitely ain't no hope. Ain't no hope for Wack 100. He gonna be who he is. He gonna stay reckless at the mouth on the internet. He gonna stay, crashing out on the internet, and it is what it is. The Luce Cannon dude, he looked like he just been getting manipulated his whole life and played and, having batteries put in his back. He looked like he just been a crash dummy his whole life. Bless his heart. Y'all pray for Luce Cannon. In the 600 dude, I don't know. He kind of like, he might be past the point of no return as well. But Bricc Baby seemed like he all right. He just need the right coattail pulling, but he still be saying too much and doing too much on these platforms though.
But I didn't know
that's what he was going in there to do.
Yeah,
that's why you say you can't fuck with him, because I didn't know that.
Scratch that. You know what? I just had to take that back. I just had to really think about it. Something just popped up in my head, boy. And I ain't gonna play that shit for you because the shit was so damn weird. It was like cringe-worthy to listen to. But boy, Bricc Baby was on here one day with Adam22 and a couple of these other guys. Matter of fact, DW Flame was on there too. It's another clip with DW Flame, Bricc Baby, and Adam22, and they were talking about, I think they was talking about the Lil Boom situation. And Bricc Baby was like saying some weird shit on there, like some very weird shit that I couldn't believe my ears, the shit he was saying. You know what I mean? But it was some rainbow stuff that he was talking about, and he was like, yeah, we get rainbow sometimes, and it was crazy, man. I can't even repeat the words, man, but yeah, Bricc Baby said some wild shit on the internet, man. So yeah, he probably strung out to the point of no return too, man. Just ain't no hope for none of these guys, I guess, man. I tried to have a little bit of hope for Bricc Baby, but as I just thought about it, that weird ass shit that he said that day, man. Yeah, it's probably ain't no hope for Bricc Baby neither, boy. These dudes, they all lost causes, man. But let's continue.
It wasn't like a Big U related interview. It was like, that was one thing he talked about.
Right. King Moab, you that's exactly what I was talking about. I couldn't repeat the words, but you just said it in the chat. That's exactly what and I don't know what makes you like, I can't even imagine a level of clout that's gonna have me high out of my mind to say some shit like that. That is crazy. Like Bricc Baby saying we all get a little like that shit was crazy. You know what I mean? Marty say DW Flame solid. Yeah, shout out to DW, man. DW from the city, he from Long Beach. He from my city, but yeah, I'll be kind of scared for DW being on this platform like this because, you know, it's just a bad influence, man. And like I say all the time, you are what you eat. You know, you feed yourself a bunch of bullshit food in your mouth, you know, it's going to make your body weak and vulnerable. If you feed your mind a bunch of bullshit and put yourself in the company of a bunch of bullshit, it's going to make your mind and your heart and your soul weak and vulnerable. So, man, I really don't like DW being on these platforms, on No Jumper, I should say. I don't like DW being on No Jumper, man, but I hope he maintains himself on here, man. But it's scary him being on here, man, because, you know, see, it was a lot better off. And you know, if y'all just pay attention, man, like if you think about how No Jumper was before, when AD and T-Rail and Duno and them dudes, if you think about how No Jumper was when they was on there versus how No Jumper's been since they left, man, it's crazy. It's way different, man. It's way different. You know, and I don't know if especially T-Rail and AD, I don't know if they intentionally maintained a certain type of order at No Jumper and intentionally kept certain types of bullshit away from No Jumper. But what I will say is very evident that since AD and T-Rail left, No Jumper has gotten a whole lot more reckless. And in my opinion, the content ain't nearly as good. It's just, you know, it's a lot different over there now. But let's continue.
Popping that shit and put money on the table.
Yeah,
right.
That is true. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that part because he's saying like Big U challenged him to a boxing match, so he's like, boom, here's the money. I'll
that's
do it.
what he's saying.
Yeah.
You don't challenge now. Oh, let me tell you about
He said,
like nigga.
So you bigger
even
than
my
you
son
think.
ain't kill you, fam. They ain't.
Dead obvious.
They ain't.
It's a guy I know, but it's not like a gang member or nothing. It's just like a
no, because I
doing
thought,
content.
I thought the guy that he came with was the one that reached out. But go ahead.
Okay, so we do the 600 thing. And his girl too, and they on the TV, whatever. So I'm like, all right,
more
cool.
popular than him.
Yeah, I was watching y'all. I'm like, cuz Wack was playing with cuz and his girl.
Right. CDW Sharp. That's that East Side shit. You know what I mean? Shout out to DW. Even he peeped what Wack 100 was doing with that shit.
You might not never get to play with me and my girl like
at the same time, man.
Cuz like, yeah, but I heard he was good with her. Like, he's fucking up his whole relationship.
He's saying Black China gave better head than her. Tell us who gave better head. Like, that's Wack though. Like he's always
so
trying
cold.
to.
If you looking at his
they
face,
got that
like
kind of
this,
relationship. They got a cool relationship where they could joke
time.
around about that. Cool, but a lot of people left that comment of like, why was Wack acting that crazy to him?
Nah, it's that
you can't play with my bitch.
That
dude,
boy, that boy ain't got no brain of himself. He's a peanut. He's Wack's minion.
His daddy was from over there.
Okay, so now I want y'all to pay attention to this. This is an example of the type of stuff that Bricc Baby does. Let me tell you my assessment of Bricc Baby, right? Now, Bricc Baby is the type of guy, I don't think he intentionally lies per se, but he will spread some misinformation. Like Bricc Baby the type of person that if he hears something, he don't fact check it. He don't scrutinize it. He'll just take it and run with it, and he don't care about the validity of what's being said and what he's repeating. He'll just take some shit and run with it. But just pay attention to what he's saying allegedly about the Loose Cannon dude's father, who is also from 60s. Pay attention.
His daddy was a snitch.
I'm saying, but his daddy was from over there.
His daddy from the IE, and you know what I'm saying, he got selected because he was a groupie hanging out around that motherfucker. Like, come on, we gonna take the IE nigga, man, city. You know what I mean? But we go there. Yeah, Loose Cannon daddy just snitched on Lil Fee.
Damn.
Who?
Lil Fee.
He sound like me 2 weeks ago.
You remember
he sound like me 3 weeks ago. What'd you say?
Yeah, man.
Who's?
And see, you see what he said, right? He said that he said that Loose Cannon father, which is Loose Cannon's father, is also from Rolling 60s. And Bricc Baby said his father was a snitch and that he snitched on Lil Fee. But this is what I love about not only Alex Alonso from Street TV, but Big U as well, right? I mean, not Big U, Kev Mack. Shout out to Kev Mack. Now, Kev Mack sets the record straight on this video here.
What up, YouTube? Welcome back to KM Videos live streams. Today, I want to talk about a couple of names, I guess, that are trending. I thought it. And this is dangerous because when you say this, I don't care who, then you got guys saying things about, he's making these claims or accusations about Big U. Where this guy Loose Cannon appears on No Jumper and he's making these claims or accusations about Big U. So everybody and their mama watching that shit, right? And then you got guys saying things about Loose Cannon's dad, telling on Lil Fee. And this is dangerous because when you say this, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a liar, a fake, a buster, or a snake. Whatever you say on social media, there's going to be a whole lot of people that's going to believe it. Because people aren't going to do the research. And most of these people are young and don't know shit, or they from out of town and don't know the different personalities, the players in the game that's being mentioned in a lot of stories, videos, and interviews, right? So I peeped that a lot of people are running with the scenario that George Nutty Williams, a.k.a. Loose Cannon's dad.
So this is Loose Cannon's dad right here. The guy that Bricc Baby is alleging told on Lil Fee, right? So Bricc Baby is saying that this guy right here, which is Luce Cannon's dad, allegedly told on Lil Fee. Now, watch how Kev Mack clears it up. You know what I mean? Shout out to Kev Mack for giving clarity and showing charity, as Sif with the P would say. You dig?
Told on Lil Fee. Even Cartoon called me. Cartoon called me right before he did the video about an incident he had with Nutty on the streets in Aliso projects back in the day. I think like 1987, right? So even Cartoon mentions in his video, if you've seen it, if you haven't seen it, you may want to go watch it. But he talks about him and Nutty drawing down on each other, but both of them end up living. Nobody got shot that day. And so even Cartoon asked me about these accusations, right? And I'm seeing them in the comment section all over Instagram and YouTube. In fact, when I went to look at Cartoon's video, I seen in his comments there's several others repeating the same misinformation.
And see, this is what happens. See, and like I said, this is why I always say, man, some of y'all done heard me say this before, but I'm saying it again. This is why I always say everybody doesn't deserve the opportunity to speak on these platforms. Everybody is not a public speaker. So because of that, everybody shouldn't be put in the position to be a public speaker, right? Because they don't understand the responsibility that comes with it, right? See, when you have a voice like a Bricc Baby has, you should want to be responsible with that voice. You shouldn't want to be reckless and crashing into brick wall after brick wall, even though your name is Bricc Baby. You shouldn't be crashing into brick wall after brick wall with your voice. You know, you should want to be responsible with your voice and build with your voice, be constructive with your voice. But this is what this is the results of Bricc Baby, you know, being reckless with his mouth and, you know, speaking misinformation about somebody that's on death row, you know, fighting for their life, man. Somebody who probably, you know, dreams of the day of possibly getting off of death row and, you know, having their freedom again, man. You know, somebody that's going through a real life situation right now, they probably done been solid, was solid in the streets, solid in the penitentiary, and you putting smut on their name. Just because you don't like they son, you putting allegations on him, and, you know, the shit don't even fit, as you about to see. But this is the results of that. You see how people on the internet just be spreading this bullshit. Oh, no jumper, Bricc Baby claims his father snitched on Lil Fee from 60s. His dad the reason Tookie got stabbed by Lil Fee. You see this shit? And then it was another one. Hold on. And now his dad is a snitch that told on Lil Fee, according to Bricc Baby. You're not from the set if your daddy told on Lil Fee, cause that shit over with. And then it's Luce Cannon says, get the paperwork, laugh out loud. They both on death row and best friends. Don't believe the lies. That's what Luce Cannon is saying.
I also seen a comment saying that Nutty and Lil Fee are best friends on death row. That's the furthest from the truth. There's no way to put a spin on that. They are not best friends on death row. If I'm wrong, I will apologize later on. But as far as I know, no. So I just wanted to come on here today, talk about that just a little bit. Don't never want to give too much, never want to say too much, and give you my spill on that. I'm under the assumption that people are looking at these last names and getting them confused. Or, again, people don't know who these players are, so they just say anything, right? So, here go the deal. My opinion is you have Charles C.W. Williams and you have George Nutty Williams. Both rolling 60s allegedly convicted and sent to death row. So I think that's the confusion right there. I think people are confusing the two parties. I see people talking about he's the reason why Lil Fee stuck Tookie, this, that, and the other. Wrong person, wrong guy, wrong scenario. Like, there's no story. Y'all not even putting a story behind it. You just saying what you heard Bricc Baby say. Or you making it emphatic, like putting emphasis on it that you know this to be a fact. And then some are asking, like, in question mark form, didn't he snitch on Lil Fee? Well, anything that happened between those two guys happened on death row. Because Lil Fee's crimee in the Alexander murders is CW, who's no longer on death row.
See, so as you can see here, you know, as Kev Mack is clearing up, you know, Bricc Baby said that Luce Cannon's daddy, which is George Williams, he was trying to say that that's who told on Lil Fee. But as Kev Mack is letting be known, George Williams, which is Luce Cannon's daddy, Nutty, you know, he got sent to death row from a case that took place in 1990. The case with Lil Fee is with this guy here, C.W. Williams. Not George Williams, C.W. Williams. They got the same last name, but two different people, two different cases that happened, you know, roughly 6 years apart from each other. The case with Lil Fee and this C.W. guy took place in 1984. George Williams, which is Luce Cannon's dad, his case took place in 1990, right? And, you know, this CW guy, I guess, ended up, you know, cooperating with them people against Lil Fee, right? So here we go.
This was a very well-known case. The incidents took place in 1984. It was broadcast on the local news, newspapers, and magazines, and even had a feature on ESPN. When we talk about hand gods, CW will be one of those hand gods. When we talk about putting a list together of top fighters, yeah, CW will go on that list without question. The other party involved grew up in the Athens Park area.
So he talking about the Luce Cannon dude's father. So I guess he grew up in Athens Park, but, you know, ended up being getting put on the 60s or whatever, and then, you know, ended up catching the case, going to death row and everything like that. So hold on.
Involved and gets caught up in a murder robbery of two people, and he was sent to death row. This case took place in 1990. Totally unrelated to Lil Fee. Lil Fee had already been arrested, convicted, and sent to death row by this time. I was actually in the county jail when Nutty came through, me and the homie Smurf, and I was a trustee at the time, and in the inmate reception center. So I would see Nutty every day going to court, and would see the homie Smurf sometimes coming from court. Now, there was another case back in 1985. A lot of you guys have recently become familiar with the case with Joker from A-Tray Gangster, Mumbles from Rolling 60s, the retaliatory acts in which Lil Eddie Boy ended up getting convicted of. And this is when the name George Williams comes into play. On that case with Eric Dix, a.k.a. Lil Eddie Boy. This is what everybody on the internet and in the comments section is getting confused. It's 3 different cases. And you guys are confusing all the different parties and what actually went on. There was a $25,000 reward for anyone that could solve that case. And so there was a lot of talk about who did, who said what, who got money from the district attorney, and what have you. So there you have it. George Nutty Williams was convicted of a murder in 1990 of 2 people, and he was sent to death row. Allegedly, or according to the LA Times newspaper, the witnesses told on Luce Cannon's dad and said that he accidentally killed one of the people. It's in the newspaper. I ain't saying nothing new or nothing like that. He accidentally killed one person, says the newspaper, and the people that testified against him. And so he wanted to cover it up because he didn't want no snitches. He didn't want nobody to tell, so he ended up killing the other guy. And that's how you get 2 murders, which is the reason why he was sent to death row. Of course, being involved in a robbery of a drug deal.
So as you can see, he basically, Kev Mack just gave the clarity on the situation. Now, Bricc Baby here is saying that Luce Cannon's dad told on Lil Fee. As you just heard from Kev Mack, that's not true. Luce Cannon's dad got caught a case in 1990 and didn't have nothing to do with Lil Fee's case. By the time Luce Cannon's dad caught his case, sent him to death row, Lil Fee had already been on death row for some years, right? So 2 cases that didn't have nothing to do with each other. Luce Cannon's dad did not tell on Lil Fee. You know, he got the same last name as the guy who told on Lil Fee. So I don't know if Bricc Baby is mixing that up, or if he just don't care about the truth enough to figure it out, or if he's just purposely, throwing Luce Cannon's dad under the bus because he don't like his son. But that type of shit ain't cool, man. We just in a time now where people just because it's the internet, people just don't really care what type of jackets they put on people, man. But as somebody who done had false jackets put on them, like myself, I take that type of shit seriously. And I would never put a false jacket on nobody, even the people who done put false jackets on me, which is a whole bunch of them on the internet. But I ain't never put no false jacket on nobody. It don't matter how much I don't like you. It don't matter how much of a buster you are. You could be a snitch. You could be whatever. I'm never going to put a false jacket on nobody. And it's not because I respect them so much. It's because that's how I respect myself. Because I value my word. I value the truth. And I align my word with the truth as much as it's within my power to do. So I don't be just throwing jackets on people. You know what I mean? But we just live in a time now where on the internet, man, people just don't have no problem putting jackets on people that don't fit. But that type of shit ain't cool, man. You put a jacket on somebody that's on death row, man, who probably might not never see the light of day again. And like I said, probably done been reputable and respectable throughout their whole time. And, imagine being on death row for 30-something years and then somebody on the internet put a snitch jacket on you. That's crazy, man. So people, like I said, everybody ain't responsible enough to be a public speaker, man. But it's the internet, so ain't really nothing we could do about it. But let's continue.
When they said I was too drunk.
Let's fill in the blanks. Who's that?
Listen, Lil Fee is my big hubby that's on death row. He known
say it without
mostly
saying
because of the Tookie situation. Everybody knows about the case. Everybody in LA knows about.
I gotta do my Googles.
The LA Rams player, whatever the case is.
Okay.
He's innocent. Hopefully he comes home. So I'm gonna just go there. You know what I'm saying? All right. So he's known. Everybody knows him because he's been on death row for years. He's kind of one of the main dudes in the penitentiary when it comes to having reputable names. Him and Tookie had an altercation where Tookie wrote about it in his book where he stabbed him, and Tookie didn't want to go get any revenge because he felt like if he ever hurt a Crip, it's like committing suicide on the gang. Tookie really stood for whatever. But that's where But Luce Cannon's dad told on him.
Okay, we can do our Googles on that.
Luce Cannon daddy is the nigga who told on him.
Yeah.
That's what you saying.
Most famous snitch.
Most famous snitch.
Most famous snitch.
I'm not look.
And see, that shit ain't cool, man, because, you know, I ain't never fought a murder case. I ain't never been on trial. I ain't never been sent to death row. So, but I have been sent to prison. You know what I mean? I have been in court where I got to look at the person that I used to get money with, you know, and they there to testify on me. You know what I mean? Somebody that I was rocking with in the streets, you know, they done came to court and dyed their hair and put some glasses on and put a suit on to try to hide their appearance. You know what I mean? And they there to testify on me, and I'm trying to look them in the eye, and they won't look me in the eye. Like, I know what that shit feel like in real life. You know, standing up under that pressure in that courtroom against them people, man. And that shit ain't no joke, man. And that shit ain't nothing to play with nobody's name about, man. You know, so just imagine, you know, you do what you do in the streets, you make mistakes, whatever the case may be, and then you go fight the system, you lose, you get sent to death row, and you sit on death row for over 30 years. And then after all of that shit you done been through, just imagine what somebody done been through being on death row within a 30-year period. Imagine all the kind of bullshit they done been through, let alone growing up in the ghetto, coming up in poverty, you know what I mean, going through the system, all this shit. And after all of that shit, you have somebody that's supposed to be from your same neighborhood putting a false jacket on your name saying you snitched on somebody when you ain't never snitched on nobody. You know, that shit ain't cool, man. So, like I said, man, people just be playing with people's names, man, and that shit, you know, that shit ain't cool. And people just be on the internet, on these platforms like a no jumper with an Adam22, you know, a.k.a. the Puppet Master, a.k.a. Geppetto, you know what I mean? And all of y'all is just being different Pinocchios for this Geppetto-ass dude, man. And the shit is crazy, man. Y'all make black men look bad. You make L.A. look bad. You make whatever, you know, gangs you represent look bad. You know, everything that you stand for and everything that you represent and everything that you're a part of, you just make the shit look bad when you get on here and grandstand and shuck and jive for this dude. And it's for what? Just so you get a little bit of clout? You know? Shit ain't cool, man. So, yeah, man. Let me see here, man. Let me see. Come on, man. Y'all tripping. You mean to tell me it's 331 of y'all up in here, but only 257 of y'all done wiped your feet off at the door when you stepped into a pimp's domain? Come on, man. Wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Hit that like button, man. That's all you got to do. It ain't going to hurt you. It ain't going to cost you. It ain't going to take away from you. It ain't going to do nothing but add some respect on your name. You dig? Wipe your feet off at the door. Hit that like button while I hydrate my pimping one more time. CJ, you cold-blooded, man. They say Wack's son is a mermaid. Nah, his son himself said he was a mermaid. It ain't they say. He called himself a mermaid. Jim Brown say people been telling in this gangbanging shit since the beginning. That's the elephant in the room. Nah, you right about that, Jim Brown. You know, cats have been telling, man, for the longest. And sometimes it be the most dangerous dudes that's doing the most telling. You know? Me, I'm not dangerous. I'm not a tough guy. Not no gang member, not no gang banger, not none of that. But one thing I definitely ain't is no snitch. Ain't never told on nobody, ain't in nobody's paperwork. You know what I mean? And yeah, I done been told on though. But hey. EJ says, freeze. How these so-called gangsters, how these so-called gangsters falling for these dumb ass corny white boy questions? Hey, man. You know, the same way rats fall for cheese in a mouse trap. You know, it's a clout trap for them. You know what I mean? Just imagine it's a mouse trap, but instead of putting cheese on it, you putting clout on it. Man, some of these people gonna go for it every time. You dig? Peter Seymour say, I think the percent is 90 to 97. Or 97. 90 to 97 convictions, you basically just lose. Well, as far as the conviction rates in them courtrooms and shit like that, what they not telling you is that it's not like everybody is just fighting their case. You know, see, that's like imagine you take a Mike Tyson in his prime, right? And you take Mike Tyson in his prime to a preschool. And you got all these preschoolers challenging Mike Tyson. And, you know, Mike Tyson is beating all of these preschoolers, right? And most of the preschoolers, they tapping out. They look at Mike Tyson and they don't want to fight him, so they just tap out. They say, you know what, I forfeit. I don't want to. That's how the courtroom is. You know what I mean? The courtroom is a bunch of regular people who come. Most of these convicted people come from poverty, or not even just poverty, just like, you know, regular backgrounds. You know, middle class, even upper middle class people can't afford to fight the system. You dig? Like you have, like the machine that you up against is like the apocalypse on X-Men. You know what I mean? You just can't. You ain't no match for the shit. You know, they just make it unfair. A big part of a big part of it that's unfair is the economic aspect of it, where, you know, the type of money that you would have to spend on bail, the type of money that you would have to spend on lawyers is just so astronomical that only wealthy people would be able to stand a chance against that shit, right? So you have all these people who can't afford the lawyers, can't afford the bail to be able to fight the system fairly, you know. And then not just that, but, you know, that's another thing that don't get talked about. Not only are public defenders working with the DA, they having lunch with the DA and the judge, they all partners, they exchange favors for each other, you know. So that's why we call public defenders dump trucks, because they just dump you off to the district attorney and, you know, don't fight for you. They fight against you. They advise you, you know, to do shit that's not in your best interest. Like public defenders is cold. They, you know, a public defender ain't pretty much nothing but an extension of the DA. So you have that going on. And then another thing that people don't talk about is how dirty some of these private lawyers are. How you might give a private lawyer $20,000 to fight this case, or $50,000. Some people give private lawyers $100,000 to fight this case, and they know they don't believe in you. They don't want to see you get out. They don't want to beat the case. You know what I mean? So instead of you getting death row, you might get a life sentence. Or instead of 25 to life, you might just get 25 years without the L on it. It'd be shit like that. You know what I mean? So, like, when really, if you had the right lawyer that was ethical and believed in you, you know what I mean, you give them all that damn money, they gonna fight for you. They gonna really go to bat for you, and then, you know, you stand a chance at winning. But see, that's another thing that people don't talk about. So this is why the conviction rates are so high. You have people that can't afford proper representation. They can't afford the bailout, so they gonna lose. You have these people. Another reason why they're gonna lose is because they got these public pretenders. That you might as well say that it's the DA versus the DA. You know what I mean? And somebody playing against themselves, they gonna win. You know, so the DA and the judge, they for sure gonna win in that situation. And then, like I said, you have, and then I even mentioned that, but you have bail bondsmen that do people dirty. I've experienced this shit myself. I done gave lawyers my money that did me dirty. I done gave bail bondsmen my money that did me dirty. You know what I mean? That try to, you know, finagle some monkey wrench ass shit to violate me and you know, violate my bail terms and try to put me back in jail in order for me. Prime example, right? I'm just giving you an example of why conviction rates be so high. I'm out on bail. I'm fighting a case. The case is in Virginia, and at the time I'm staying in Miami. So, because I'm not from Virginia, don't know nobody in Virginia, I just caught a case there on some fluke shit, right? I'm out on bail. I'm flying to court every court date, and I'm on time every time. Every court date, I fly in the night before, and I show up to court bright and early each time that I got court, right? So I ain't violated none of my bail terms. You know what I mean? I show up to court one day. This is like my 4th or 5th time flying into town to go to court. I've been out on bail for like 4 months at this point. I show up to court. When I walk up to the courtroom, my state appointed lawyer and my state appointed lawyer and my bail bondsman, they standing there chopping it up when I walk up, right? But what I'm not understanding is going on at the time is they conspiring against me. You know what I mean? See, what was and they did it at the perfect time, because what I was about to do, because when I got out on bail, I was on my ass. My money was fucked up. But within that 4 months, I got my money up, and now I'm cool. Now I could go get a private lawyer. So what I was going to do is I was going to fire this state-appointed lawyer, which might as well be a public defender, the court-appointed lawyer. I was going to fire him, and I was going to go get a private lawyer, right? So, and mind you, the bondsman let me get out paying half, right? So I paid him half to get out, and then I was going to pay him the other half while I was out. So now I'm giving him the last of the money. You know, I've been giving him like a couple of payments here and there. I only owed him like $750 more. So I walk up, him and the bondsman and my lawyer is chopping it up. As soon as I put the money in my bondsman's hand, now I don't owe him no money, right? So now that my debt to him is paid, now that he done got his money, he get totally brand new on me. He say, look, man, you gonna have to settle this case today, or I'm gonna have to take you into custody. I said, what? He like, yeah, man, you know, because you know, you from out of state and da-da-da-da. I'm like, look, man, I've been showing up to court every time. I've been doing everything I'm supposed to do, man. What is you talking about? He like, man, you gonna have to settle this case and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, right? So I say, all right, let's say, did I do that, right? Let's say no, I take that back. I say, okay, let's say I go into custody, right? I don't settle the case today. I let you take me into custody. I'll be able to bail right back out, right? He was stumped. He didn't expect me to say that, so he looking at my lawyer to help him out, and then my lawyer tell him like, oh well, no, you ain't gonna be able to do that, because if you turn yourself in or if you get taken into custody, the judge ain't gonna give you another bail, so you just gonna be stuck there. So basically, they forced me into copping this plea that I didn't want to cop, because I knew I could beat the case. The case was weak as hell. You know what I mean? The case was bullshit, and I knew that I could beat it if I got a private attorney, which I was just about to do after this next court date, right? So long story short, you know, they forced my hand. I'm up, you know, shit going good, so I'm not finna go allow myself to be taken into custody when I don't have to, because it's gonna mess my whole program up. You know what I mean? So they kind of forced my hand. It's like either you go to jail and you sit there, but really, see, they caught me off guard. I wasn't prepared. Now, had I expected them to do this, this is what I should have did. Let me tell y'all, you know, for, you know, people who might end up in a situation like this, so you'll know what to do, right? Because this type of shit happens all the time. What I should have did, like if I can go back, I should have told my bail bondsman, screw you. I should have told my attorney, screw you, and do what you got to do, right? So if he would have put me in custody that day, see, my lawyer was telling me that shit so I could be mentally defeated, so I wouldn't even try to fight that. You know what I mean? He talking about, oh yeah, the judge ain't gonna give you another bill. That's bullshit, because money talk. So what I should have did is told both of them, screw you, let the bail bondsman do what he do. If I went back to jail, then my money was cool now. So I could go hire a private lawyer. I could fire this dude, go get a private lawyer, and then my new lawyer is going to get me a bail. See, he was saying that the judge ain't going to give me a bail because he's not going to put in no motion for me to get a bail. He not going to fight for me to get a bail. But guess what? A paid lawyer going to do that. So what I should have did, told both of them, F you, let them do what they do. I go to jail. I get a new lawyer. The new lawyer set me up with a bond hearing, and then I was going to get another bail out again. Now I got a paid lawyer, and this case is a slam dunk because it was a weak-ass case. But what ends up happening, I go for the monkey wrench, and I cop to a plea. I cop to some bullshit that I didn't want to cop to. Now I got another felony and 3 years probation, which they violated me on some fluke shit, so I ended up doing 4 years of probation. Got violated 2-3 times, extradited cross country, months in jail, ankle monitors, just a bunch of bullshit that could have been avoided if I was prepared better. You know what I mean? But I say all of that to say that's an example of how they do you. That's why the conviction rate is so high, because they don't play fair. If it was really fair, you know what I mean, then the conviction rate wouldn't be nearly that. You dig? But they, you know, it's set up like a slot machine. It's set up for you to lose. You dig? Right. Niner gang or don't bang. We about to smack these Lions in the face tomorrow. You dig? Who the hell is this E-Band Films dude? Let me see what he talking about. Oh, you must be a fan of mine. Hey, I appreciate you tuning in, E-Band Films. I appreciate you supporting the pimp. You know what I mean? Oh, you talking about Barbie. You trying to say Barbie is the police. Is that what you saying? Oh, I thought you was talking about me. E-book say on Pyru, I missed the drama. What's Auntie Wack 100 blabbering about? Yeah, we done broke it all the way down, man. But I was just basically saying how, you know, Wack 100 along with these other guys on the thumbnail just allow themselves to get puppeteered by Adam22, you know, and see, one thing about Wack 100, he tries to make himself look like this big boss dude, like he just this hog in the industry, and you know, he just, you know, is this big old dude. But if he was really a boss the way that he portrays himself to be, he wouldn't be an employee on No Jumper like he is right now. You work for Adam22. Adam22 cuts your check. You know what I mean? Adam22, just like he had the power to hire you, has the power to fire you as well. You know, so you know, I can't look at Wack the way that he look at himself, or at least the way he try to make people look at him and try to look at himself. You know, you a worker, you know, and I just can't go for this image that you trying to portray yourself, this light that you trying to put yourself in. I can't go for it. But you know, these guys are all, like I said, man, examples of people who are not responsible enough to be public speakers because they just too reckless. They too strung out on clout. They not responsible enough, and they just shouldn't be able to speak on public platforms. But hey, as long as you got guys like Adam22 that's gonna give them the stage, they gonna dance, they gonna perform. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Oh, E-Bands from Clubhouse always talking crazy. Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't be on Clubhouse, so that ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm not even hip to what goes on Clubhouse. Clubhouse is worse. Clubhouse is the worst shit that happened to that shit is the worst. Clubhouse is worse than Instagram, worse than YouTube, worse than TikTok, worse than Facebook. Clubhouse is terrible. Anybody who spent a bunch of time on Clubhouse, you tripping. James Williams says, they not puppets, they are volunteering to be clowns. All on their own. Adam just provides the platform. Yeah, puppets, clowns, whatever you want to call them, but I call them puppets because they being puppeteered. Yeah, Adam does provide the platform for them to, clown on, but he still do pull the little strings with them and all that. Cloud is a hell of a drug. You ain't never lied about that. Absolutely it is. It promotes gossip. Yeah, Clubhouse, that's all Clubhouse is just a platform to promote gossip. That's all it is. Who's on their YouTube channel dissing me right now, eBooks? You said they're on their platform dissing me, or on their YouTube channel dissing me right now. I don't know who you talking about. Unless Eban Films is a fake account, he has your stream being played on being played and calling you a B. Freeze. Yeah, I don't know. That don't surprise me. And it don't surprise me that it's a fake platform or whatever, and it don't surprise me that he, but I don't know. Let me see how many people he got over there. Let me see. Oh, Eban Films, he got 32,000 subs. Okay. Well, that's cool. Promote a pimp. It's cool. To the 74 people that's over there watching, if you ain't subscribed to the pimping, go ahead and subscribe to the pimping now. You know what I mean? Freeze is it. Bring yourself over to a pimp's platform, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell when you subscribe, you dig? And tune in and tap in with this game. But hey, it is what it is. They can hold that fort down all they want. Yeah. I just went over there. He's streaming your stream. Hey, it's all good. I ain't mad at him for streaming my stream. You know what I mean? He got 74 people over there. Some of them is probably already over here, but some of them might not be. You dig? And if he can play a part in saving one person from being a lame, saving one person from being a sucker, then he did his job. You dig? See, the game use people in mysterious ways, you know what I mean? The game sometimes use people in ways that they don't even know they being used, man. So I ain't gonna get in the way of that. I ain't mad at him. You dig? It ain't like he's stealing people from here and taking them over there. And even if he did, even if he stole one person, then hey, either way it go, they hearing the pimp right now. Whether they over there, they over here, they still over here. You dig? So I don't know. I might be an inspiration to dude over there, Eban Films. You know, he might be inspired by a pimp. He might be over there taking notes right now. I don't know. And, you know, that's what I come here to do anyway, is inspire people. So, hey, it is what it is, you know. Freeze, you know this was going to eventually come through. Yeah, it is what it is. Freeze, is any music coming out this summer? Glorious Pimp is my shit. Ricky Carroll, I appreciate you, man. Yeah, definitely. Hopefully I'll have some music out before the summer, but definitely by the summer for sure. Have some new music out, you dig? They trying to say you a snitch, ebooks. Boy, they just, see, that's what I'm talking about. They just love throwing jackets on people, man. You know, but nah, that, you know. But anyhow, man, you know, I'm going to answer a few questions of y'all's, man. And we going to end up wrapping it up in a few very shortly. But I'm going to answer a few more questions before we wrap it up. If you ain't wiped your feet off at the door when you stepped into a pimp's domain, please do so now. Hit that like button while I hydrate my pimpin' one more again. Freeze, what's your take on the border crisis, the Montanas? I haven't really been following it lately. I've seen some clips here and there. I know people still crossing the border and all that. You know, the bottom line to that is where there's a will, there's a way. You know, they talking about all this stuff to, you know, control the border and things like that. But hey, man, people want to come across over here. You know, it is what it is. And see, you know, one thing I could say about a lot of those people that come across the border, see, you know, you talking to somebody now that's from California, right? And I live in Arizona. So between California and Arizona, you know, I know firsthand a lot of what's going on. At being a person that's lived in both of these places, right? Which both places border Mexico. And, you know, I'm sure a lot of people cross the border illegally, right? But this is the thing though. Hey man, a lot of them people come over here and bust their ass and work. You know what I mean? Now, I'm sure there's a lot of cases where, you know, they may not pay taxes traditionally, you know, like most people that are citizens here pay taxes, but I believe if they're given the opportunity, they will pay taxes because they bust their ass. You know what I mean? Like them people that come from Mexico and Central America and South America, hey man, them is some of the hardest working people you gonna find. You dig? So if they come in here and they being an asset to the community, just like them people that came here on the Mayflower, you know, just like all them people that came to Ellis Island and all that shit, you know, just like all the other people that came here from different countries, man. Hey, this shit belong to everybody the way I see it, man. You know, so you know, they try to make it seem like they come in here and being killers and criminals and all this sort of type of shit. If a lot of them, see, what they not saying is the ones who might end up becoming criminals, you know, they probably doing that because, you know, they not given the same opportunities. But if they was given the opportunity to pay taxes like everybody else, you know what I mean? And you know, the channels through which they have to go through aren't like a hell of an obstacle course and all that type of shit, then hey man, you know, I say let them people live, man. Let them do their thing. You dig? But you know, if you listen to Fox News and all that shit, they'll just make you think that everybody that come across the border illegally is just, you know, coming over here to terrorize the community and kill people and push dope on people and all that type of stuff. And it ain't like that, man. If you actually live in any of these states that border Mexico and you see the people that are illegal that come over, man, like a lot of them, you know, they work and they get up early in the morning just like you, and they go bust their ass just like you, probably bust their ass harder than you. And, you know, a lot of them people, they assets to their community. So, hey, it is what it is. Let them rock. That's what I say. Freeze knows that a lot of illegal immigrants are tricks. Hey, but see, you know, all of that is stimulating the economy, though. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. You know, it all boils down to, you know, stimulating the economy, man. You know, if they coming from different countries and they coming over here to work, you know, whatever type of blue collar hard labor they do, and, you know, some of that money is getting tricked off on the 304, then, hey, man, you know, the 304 gonna pay taxes one way or another. You know, when they go shopping or when they buy stuff and pay bills and all that kind of stuff, you know, it's taxes and everything, man. So, you know, shout out to the illegals that come over and do some tricking, man, and stimulate the economy that way, you know, because that's what they doing, man. They stimulating the economy through the 304, you dig? So shout out to them, man. Yeah, for sure. Right, one hand washes the other. Modi, you already know what I'm talking about, for real. You dig? Carlos Enriquez says, on immigration, if you look at statistics, there are more Canadians overstaying their visas and that are here illegally as opposed to Mexicans specifically. Right, Carlos Enriquez, and not just that, but, you know, speaking of those Canadians, are they coming over here and, you know, stimulating the economy the same way that the Mexicans are? No. You know what I mean? Because just like a lot of Americans, see, that's what they, and see, that's what they not going to tell you too, man. This what Fox News and MSNBC ain't going to tell you. You know, a lot of these Republicans that complain about the illegals, you know, they hire the illegals and pay them a fraction of what they would pay somebody that's a citizen, because they know certain citizens ain't going to do the same type of work that an illegal will do. I'm going to stop calling them illegals. You know, somebody from somewhere else, whether it's Mexico, Central America, South America, you know, those people from over there, they come over here and they'll do back-breaking ass, good-ass work for a fraction of what an American citizen will, right? And these corporations, they'll hire them. You know what I mean? Oh, shit, you going to do that for shit, I could slice the wage in half and pay you, and you going to work better than this person that was born over here? Hell yeah. Let me slice this in half and give you this, you know what I mean? Pay two of y'all for what I would pay one of these people over here, you know what I mean? Because I got to pay them, you know, because of, you know, they protected by the laws over here and shit like that. But y'all trying to stay here, you know what I mean? You ain't trying to rock the boat at all. So shit, minimum wage is $15 an hour. Let me pay you $7.50 and let me pay you $7.50. And yeah, we gonna rock like that. That's what's going on. They're not gonna tell you that, but that's the truth though. Anybody who live in California tell you that. That's what's really going on. You know what I mean? So yeah. And not just that, but like you said, I believe that. I ain't did the research, but it wouldn't surprise me. More Canadians overstaying their visas and shit like that, and they not coming over here working. You know? And if they are coming over here working, they not competing with the Latino community that's coming over here working. That shit don't even compare. You know what I mean? Like they play a major role in the economics over here, especially in California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. You know what I mean? They play a major part in the economy over there. You dig? So yeah, man, I ain't got no problem with him. Lojo, good looking with the $2 holla. What are manipulation tactics that cops use? Man, it's a whole bunch of them, man. See, a big part of the manipulation that the police do is, they'll ask you what you might, if you don't know any better, they ask you what appears to be harmless, innocent questions. Questions like, where you coming from? Where you going? Oh, how long were you there? Who were you there with? They asking you all of these questions because as the Miranda rights say, anything you say will be used against you. So when they ask you where you coming from, who was you there with? How long was you there? Why were you there? Where do you live? Where are you going right now? Why are you going where you going right now? When they ask you all of this shit, they're asking you this shit so that you can give them as much as they can get out of you to use against you, because everything you say will be used against you, right? So that's one of the major manipulation tactics that they use. And then if you slip up, because a lot of people be nervous. See, me, I don't be nervous in front of them people. So, and then not just that, but I understand my right to remain silent. So I'm not answering none of your questions. You know what I mean? License, registration, insurance, here you go. Anything outside of that is none of your business. You know what I mean? And then I like what they did in California, speaking of this, because for those of y'all who don't know about California, right, they just passed a law recently that they can't ask you, do you know why I pulled you over? They can't ask you that no more. They have to tell you why they pulled you over. And see, they do shit like that to manipulate you. You know why I pulled you over? They trying to make you nervous and see if you gonna lie and all this so stupid ass shit. What that got to do with why you pulled me over, whether I know or not? It's not my job to be clairvoyant and read your mind and figure out why you pulled me over. You know what I mean? Like Jay-Z says, because I'm young and I'm black and my hat's real low, do I look like a mind reader, sir? I don't know. Like, I don't know why the hell you pulled me over. I'm not no mind reader. How about you tell me why you pulled me over? So it'd be little shit like that, they do stuff like that too to provoke people, because they know with a lot of people, when they ask somebody that, either you're going to get nervous and lie and some bullshit, or you're going to be confrontational and, you're going to start an argument. I didn't do that. As soon as they tell you why they pulled you over and all this, well, I didn't do that. I didn't do this. And now you've been confrontational, and it's more of a reason to like provoke them to try to get them to try to arrest you. You know what I mean? So it'd be shit like that. You dig? But yeah, they got manipulation tactics up their ass. Oh, let me go back, man, because it's several supers that I didn't shout out. 5G Wi-Fi, good looking with the $2 holla. Don GF, good looking with the $2 holla. Sack 100, you crazy. Beat Biz, good looking with the $10 holla. Peace Freeze, could you give us the Stupid B season series that Sim was gonna do? Yeah, I know he did one video with the Stupid B season. But yeah, I mean, it ain't nothing to continue on that shit, because as he said, it's always Stupid B season. It ain't never over with, you dig? Exactly what happened to Rome. Stupid B season and clown season. Yeah. they always in season. Qualified immunity sounds like a manipulation tactic. Definitely. You know? That's for sure. Ebooks. This ain't Mexican and other illegals coming over. The folks coming over here are from Venezuela, already have racists, and get preferential treatment. Are you talking about where you are or just the states in general? ESPZ says, to the European, every minority is a criminal. Yep. It's just a game they play. Get on TV and say one thing when they're doing the opposite behind closed doors. Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah, man. It's funny speaking of this, right? Speaking of politics and racism and all this type of stuff, man. You know, I don't really get into this type of stuff usually, but hold on. But I saw an interesting clip earlier today where the people on Valuetainment, they was talking about Charlemagne the God, and I ain't gonna lie, I was disappointed in the people with Valuetainment. Not so much Pat Bet David because he didn't really give as much input, but I still was kind of a little. He was the one I was probably the least disappointed in, but I was disappointed in all of these guys, right? But just check this out.
Leonard McKelvey, you guys all know him as Charlemagne, and I refuse to call him or any other man God for that reason. His name is Leonard.
So he talking about Charlemagne the God, and he said he refuses to call him God or any other man God, but just in a few seconds, he's going to acknowledge him as Charlemagne the God. So he already made himself look crazy there, but let's continue.
He was recently on Piers Morgan and they were the Breakfast Club, and they were talking about Trump and his. You could already tell his attitude because say what you want, Leonard Charlemagne, you guys could call him that. He has Trump derangement syndrome, 100%. Piers is talking about Trump, and then I sent you the link, Rob, on Slack. This is what Charlemagne the God says about our amazing United States of America.
Back he's making. Nobody thought he could do this.
Talk about Trump.
After the stolen election bullshit, after the January 6th riots, all that stuff, after the 91 criminal charges, did anyone really think we'd be in a position where Trump had a landslide win in Iowa and is now in most polls I'm looking at likely to beat Biden if he does end up as candidate? I mean, it's an incredible comeback.
Well,
Whatever you think.
Well, it's something we say all the time, right? We know that America systemically, structurally is a racist country. And I think
we know.
Like that
Hold on, we know.
I wanted to ask you about in Trump 2016 after you win. I can understand the case for optimism, right? Nobody wants to see this country fall. But it's 2024 now. Based on everything we've seen Trump do, all of the things you just, said, the attempted coup of the country, the 91 criminal charges, you still think he should be president?
And you can pause that. By the way, listen to what he said. Leonard said, we all know, not I think, not my opinion, we all know, you, me, everybody here, that this country is systemically and what else is structurally racist. Now, here's my...
Yeah, and it definitely is, but I'm gonna continue this in just a second, but I just want to say that, their stance is it's disappointing, but at the same time, it's not surprising. Now, they're going to oppose Charlemagne's opinion, and I just want you to pay attention to what they say.
What can't you do, okay, that a white person can't do? Doctor, astronaut, president of the United States, 2 terms. I hate this attitude, and this is going back to what you always say.
And see, this is what they do, right? He said, what can't you do that a white person can't do? We can't create our own government here. We can't start our own police forces here. This is all stuff that they did. We can't create a prison system and create economic disparity among white people and make it where, they make up, they're the minority of the community, but, because of the situation that we put them in and how we oppress them and how we socially engineer them a certain way to, be a crab in a barrel type of situation where they fight amongst each other, they scrap amongst each other for crumbs and kibbles and bits and stuff like that because there's not enough opportunity to go around and it's not enough information going around because the information is hidden from us for so long. And, you've socially engineered us in a certain type of way where we don't even desire the information because, you push entertainment in our faces so much. And, you put certain ones of us on pedestals to praise entertainment over everything. So we don't seek education, but all of this is orchestrated by you guys, right? But we don't have the power to do that to white people. Black people don't have the power to set up a system where, white people praise entertainment over education and it's a drug epidemic amongst them, poverty amongst them, misinformation and limited information amongst them. We don't have the power to do that. So he said, what can't Charlemagne do that a white person can't do? Charlemagne can't do that, first of all. Second of all, this is what they love to do. They love to take somebody like him and say, you made it. You're successful. You can do anything a white person can't do or can do. But we're not talking about black individuals that are successful. We talking about black people. You know what I mean? It's a people thing. Now, of course, yeah, you have individuals that are successful, but if you look at the people as a whole, that's nobody addresses that. They talk about different successful individuals and how they made it. And then not just that, but you don't know the path that Charlemagne had to walk to get where he is, and how that path differs from, other people's paths who are not one of us. So, but if you pay attention to this whole clip, they never say nothing about what's going on with black people as a whole. They're just saying that because some of you made it, you all have the opportunity to make it. And that's false. But let's continue.
What he's doing is not only divisive, but he's instilling victimhood mentality into the young black youth, just youth, minority in general, saying, you know what? You can't do something because something is holding you back, which I think is bullshit. And by the way, he's a walking, talking contradiction. He wrote a book. His book, guess what the book is actually called? Black Privilege, Opportunity to Come to Those Who Create It. Look. So wait, if there's black privilege and opportunity comes to those who create it.
And see, they're not going to tell you what the book is about. They're not going to tell you any of the contents in the book. But, it's unfortunate that Charlemagne titled his book that. But I understand it, though. It's basically giving hope to our people who might want to endeavor to be successful in whatever type of way. That's what I imagine the book is about. But they're not going to tell you what the book is about. He's just going off the title of the book because he doesn't like the title of the book. Or, not that he doesn't like the title of the book, but, he's just using it to support his argument. That it's Charlemagne is trying to spread this victim mentality amongst his people.
Yet everything's structurally racist. And how did you make it? Did you slip through the cracks? I don't get it. These people are they're killing and they're making money because it's a victimhood mentality, and that's how they make their money. But then, Rob, I think he should write a different book, and I actually wrote it, Pat. I think he should write it. It should be called A Word from the God, How to Become Filthy Rich in the Most Racist Place in History. That's what I think that he should have his book. But it's like, what do you think? I think it's ridiculous that this attitude of we're racist, and guys, at the end of the day, there's racist people in this country, just like there's pedophiles over here, and there's bad people over here, and there's crooks over here. It's not what they say it is and how bad it is. And I think it's ridiculous.
See, this is why this type of stuff ain't cool. These type of conversations ain't cool, because he's saying that it's not as bad as we say it is, or that Charlemagne says it is, right? But see, that's easy for you to say when you're not subject to being in our shoes. You don't have to walk in our shoes. You don't have to live in our skin. You don't have to be us. You don't have to live our lives, right? So it's easy for somebody who doesn't have to go through the same type of thing to say, oh, this ain't what it is, but it's like, again, when you look at what goes on in the quote unquote justice system, right? When you look at the fact that as soon as, slavery was abolished in 1863, right after that, you have all these big prisons popping up, to the point where now, you got so many prisons. It's like such a big industry, and, it's a major part of the economy. You dig? And what does prison do? What does prison allow people to do? See, here on the streets, there's a minimum wage that it's illegal to make somebody work below, right? But in prison, they can employ you to do some of the same jobs that people would have to be paid $15, $16, $17 an hour. In prison, they can make you do those same jobs for 95 cents an hour, 50 cents an hour, 0 cents an hour, right? So, what do you call that? And then we don't make up the majority of the population in the U.S. They go on to mention that. Pat Bet-David looked it up. White people make up 250 million, roughly 251 million of the population. Black people make up 41 million of the population, right? So I think it's like 18% or something like that, 16%, something like that, right? Less than 20%. But what they didn't talk about, and what I know they don't want to talk about, is the population of the penal system. While we only make up, less than 20% of the population, we make up the majority of the prison system, right? And then not just that, but it's certain statistics that you won't be able to find, because if you were able to find them, it's going to expose a lot of truth, right? And like the redlining, that shit still goes on. Okay, so back to the penal system, right? Like I said, we make up the majority of people in prison. We make up the majority of felons, right? While there's, 5 times more of them than there is of us, is probably 100 times more felons among us than there is among them, right? And, when you have a felony, you can't get certain jobs. You can't live in certain neighborhoods, so you have to resort to certain measures that, they don't have to resort to. And then not just that, but like, when they get charged with some of the same things we get charged with, you can take, like, for instance, it was a white kid that got charged for rape in Stanford, right? He was a student at Stanford, but he had never been in trouble before. And you know what they said? And he was, from what I remember, it was like all kind of evidence against him and all that, but they was like, you know what? He's never been in trouble before. He's got such a bright future ahead of him. So they kind of like gave him a slap on the wrist, right? But if you take one of us and put one of us in that same situation with the same kind of background, no criminal history, never been in trouble, we gonna be a menace to society. Like, it happens all the time. But again, like I said, when you don't have to live in our shoes and be among us, be a part of our community, you don't really understand that firsthand. You just a spectator, right? So and then, your people don't have to go through that. So it's easy for you to say that we crying victim and all this type of stuff, but it's like, what cannot be argued is that the U.S. was built on a certain type of system, right? And you don't just undo that system in 50 years. You don't just start a civil rights movement and then, name a bunch of streets after Martin Luther King, put up some statues, make some holidays where people get the day off, and then, and let a black man be the president, and racism is just over with. It ain't like that. You don't just undo a system that took hundreds of years to establish. You don't just undo that shit in 50 years. It's not that simple. You dig? And because of the way our society is set up now, it's a lot easier to hide racism. You dig? And I didn't want to go too far off into this shit, but y'all was talking about racism and politics and shit like that, and it reminded me of this clip that I seen earlier. But you can go watch the whole clip. It's on Valuetainment, and it was posted earlier today. But yeah, I could go on and on about that shit, but I just didn't like how they tried to sweep racism under the rug. They're not gonna talk about the history of shit. They're not gonna talk about what's going on right now. And they really don't. To be fair, they really don't know. I'm sure. They're not privy to a lot of the bullshit that goes on among us and the shit that we subject to. So, but the thing is like, don't speak on the shit because you don't know what you're talking about. You dig? But Cecilia Jackson, hold on. Happy birthday, Cecilia. You dig? Yeah, happy birthday. You said, damn, today was my birthday and they were asking me for money. Who was asking you for money on your birthday? You need to get away from them people. You dig? She said, black people have no effing shame. How the F you ask me for money on my birthday? That is some shit. That's cold-blooded, man. Yeah, I wouldn't give nobody a dime on my birthday unless it was my kids or something. Or maybe my mom's, my dad, one of my parents or something. But anybody else, zero action. That 1% is all white, but Patrick is the guy who bought himself into whiteness. I don't know. I ain't gonna just throw Pat under the bus because Pat, he do a lot of good. I think he means well, but yeah, I didn't like their stance on racism. That wasn't cool. Every Tuesday is my birthday. Me and Gardner on Wallace. You must get paid on Tuesdays, huh? I dig it. Well, yeah, man, we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing on up. Me put some love in my body and hydrate my pimpin' one more time before we get up out of here. As always, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in and tapping in with a pimp. I appreciate you for all the comments, the questions, the jokes, the good feedback, the hate. I appreciate it all, man. I appreciate you for sharing this video. I appreciate you for subscribing and hitting the bell when you subscribe. I appreciate all the super chats, the cash apps, the PayPals. I appreciate your support in every which way that you comes with it, man. You already know who it is and what it is. Freeze is it. If you out in traffic moving around, please do so in a safe fashion. And of course, as always, long live the incomparable Sinful to P. We out.